It feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time.
It feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time.
Hey, everybody! Guys, welcome! Welcome to the First Time Show. Man, it's funny because the first episode, or the last episode, the one that just before this one.
The second episode?
The second episode, yes.
The fourth episode.
We were so low energy when we started, I think. Or it was just like,
Yes.
oh, we're doing it. Here's the show, guys.
I was saying to Alana that last time we recorded on Saturday and I'd spent the whole day at the pool. So I had like sunstroke and I was
Laugh all you want, but I'm
tired.
loud.
Brett, I'm trying to understand your dedication to the First Time Show.
What do you mean? Are you doubting it?
I'm doubting it if you're going to be swimming in a damn pool all day. I'm just
Well,
jealous.
I didn't today.
He worked
For
all
just that
day
reason.
I
today.
wish I could swim in a pool.
Come over. We can swim 6 feet apart.
I think your hoodie's really cool.
It is very cool.
Where'd you get it?
It's undrafted.
It's really cool. What is that like?
Sponsor me. My favorite hoodie. It's so comfy.
Will someone please sponsor? Will Undrafted please sponsor Brett?
We'll talk a lot about undrafted if they just send me one more hoodie.
Guys, welcome to the show. Right off the top, did you know that Brett and I made a comic
Sponsorship
book?
right off the top.
No, Brett and I made a comic book.
Yeah.
And there might be people listening to this that do not know that.
Yeah,
And
I
just
didn't
wanna-
know until last week that it was finished.
Well,
It's funny because it feels like you just found out we made a comic book.
Yeah, I feel the same way actually. It
Listen,
feels like Steve just found
I have like those horse blinders on. You know, the ones that
horse
horses
blinders.
the ones that horses have so they don't see something over here and get spooked.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
I have that on for things.
Is that what Peaky Blinders are?
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
We'll
I don't know if it is.
Save it for the Peaky Blinders watch through.
Peaky
Um,
blinders.
Listen to me. I just want to say really quick that my focus is on so many things at any given time, and the comic book totally came out like in January. Or when did it come
No,
out?
came in March.
March. Okay.
But it was supposed to come out in October, and they just made a mistake at Comixology, is all I can tell, because I had to email them.
Anyway,
And they were
but
like, oh, it should be out.
for those of you that are like, what are they talking about? On this very show, we discussed at length a potential comic book that Brett and I could make, and we started talking about the Crypt Keeper and how what must have that man's life been like before he became the Crypt Keeper. And then Brett
I never knew that's what this
You haven't
was
heard
about.
this?
No one has ever. I've been asking and asking and asking. This is
Well,
his
we were
Peaky
talking about
Blinders.
the Crypt Keeper. How did he get all these stories to tell?
Right.
Yeah.
And so then we started talking about, well, he could have been like a writer or a journalist that followed like a homicide beat. And so he's seen all of these like horrific stories.
And so the comic is just our chance to do all these Tales from the Crypt stories, essentially. But
the idea is every 3 issues will tell one like procedural story. Like it starts with a murder,
yeah.
and he has to solve the murder.
And Brett wrote the first episode, and we'll probably write all of them. I'd like to write one. Will you teach
would
me
love
how
for
to
you to
write
write
one?
Do you want me to write the first 3 and then you write the second 3?
Yeah, sure.
We each write a story?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is really
Let's get on
exciting. So anyway,
We'll write it by the pool.
Oh shit! Now that's a Sunday.
Every episode is going to be about like drowning in a pool, slipping by the pool.
All right, let's stop talking about fun
Wait,
and nice things and talk about the leftovers.
Wait, finish the story though. You wrote the thing about how do people get
it's just
it?
whatever.
Tell
It's
us
okay.
about
The
it.
first issue was written by Brett, and the first 3, I guess, will be written by Brett. And it's
story by Steve and Brett.
yeah,
story by
yes.
Stephen Brett.
But
Brett.
but you can get it on Comixology right now.
Yeah, so we put it out there as like I was saying, I'm sure there's somebody listening that's a really great artist and will be like, I'll draw this thing, which didn't happen. And then we had to I can't.
I mean, what are the chances? We
only
only had so many people listening to the Lost podcast anyway.
Yeah.
And also, like, a comic book artist, like a good comic book artist. I mean, what are the chances they were going to be listening to us talk about Lost?
All right. Yeah.
Well, 0 because they.
Apparently.
That's the answer.
The answer is 0. Yeah.
0 who wanted
But I
to
dove
help.
into the internet and I found a man that wanted to draw it, and then I found another man that wanted to color it, and then I did all the letters.
And now they're married.
And we put it out as sort of a like test to see if we could do it. And now it's like we don't know what next steps are, but we need to. We should keep going if we're gonna do more. And yeah, stay tuned.
All right. Well, that's enough self-promotion.
One issue a year.
One issue a year. But we'll finish it. We'll say that we will finish it. So anyway, it's an EZU comic.
Yeah, I made an EZU publishing imprint on Comixology.
Yeah, and the logo's really cool.
Distribute it. Thank you.
So when you see the comic, you'll see the EZU logo. All right, let's talk about The Leftovers. Guys, welcome to The Leftovers, first time show, season. This is, if you're this
episode.
deep. If you're
Are
this
we calling
deep.
this season 3 of the first time show?
We could call it season 3, yeah.
Season
But it's
3
so
of the First Time Show,
confusing, though.
Season 1 of the Leftovers.
Season 3 of the first time show covering season 1 of The Leftovers.
Episode 3 of the first time show.
Episode 3 of the first time show season.
Episode 5 and 6 of the Leftovers season 1.
Amber here, she poofed.
Oh shit, I forgot to put the clips into the thing.
In the clip.
Don't worry, we have time. So anyway, so for those of you that are as deep as we already are into this podcast.
Can I just real quick before we get into this? These are the clips for episode 1 or for episode 5. These are the clips for episode 6.
Those are your clips.
Yeah. I didn't pull them all, but
were our clips similar?
I think we probably had 2 overlaps.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of the show, you guys. We're gonna have a lot of fun with clips.
If we ever get through the intro, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of segments.
So I'm gonna be stalling big time because I'm downloading the clips, but and I need to put them on the device I use to share them. But
Brett,
can we dive right into this episode?
Yeah,
well, no,
what
let's
do you
just hold on.
5.
Oh, okay.
Well, we gotta say at least
Titled. Go ahead.
Yes. We got to say at least that this is covering, well, you've already seen it from the title, I guess, but we're covering episodes 5 and 6 of The Leftovers on HBO. And if you're like, oh man, I don't want to listen to this shit, well, that's cool. All right. So
Do it anyway.
Dude, I think
Quarantine.
so. I don't peek and I don't read ahead. That's one of my things. I don't know if it's because I don't want to put the work into it, or if it's because I like the surprise.
Non-peaky blinders.
But I saw that someone sent us an email saying they don't watch the show, but they're listening to us.
Yeah.
So this is going to be
Great.
so fun.
Okay.
Because imagine it, Alana. Imagine listening to this show and not watching The Leftovers. Like, we're going to talk about some crazy shit. Like, a woman gets stoned to death in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Like, and you see it.
Murder.
The way this episode opened felt to me like like Damon Lindelof going, okay, seriously, are you guys in or are you out? Are you in or are you out? Because this is the show now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're totally right.
I told my parents last night to watch The Leftovers.
Whoa, so
They've
you're
never even heard of it. Both they raised me Baptist. They're non-denominational at this point, and I was like, you guys should watch it. It's a very interesting watch. And then I turned it on today and I was like, oh, it starts with a stoning. That's gonna be a tough one for Steve and Cindy. But if they watch it, I'm interested in I'll pass along their
notes,
their perspective on the show.
Brett, what do you think Mima would have thought of The Leftovers?
She would have loved it. And my dad also would have never watched something like this when we were growing up, but now that we're all adults, he's like, you watching this Game of Thrones?
Oh,
and he just
great.
finished Westworld. He said he loved the first season. Second season was okay. and the third season is you shouldn't even watch it. And I was like, that's curt analysis from my father.
Wait, so does your dad like watch things like Game of Thrones and has like pretty like solid opinions about it? And like, does he look at things from the perspective of like, what's his perspective of something like Game of Thrones?
He, I think they tried to raise us in a way that was like a Game of Thrones when I was a kid, my dad wouldn't watch because he wouldn't want me as a kid to think that that's the type of entertainment that he enjoys.
Wow.
But now, like my parents were young when they had us, they were 18, 19. And so they're just figuring it out. Now we're all adults. I feel like they've grown up. My dad's like, I like things that are entertaining regardless. Loves Bosch on Amazon Prime. Big Bosch fan.
My dad watches Game of Thrones exclusively because of the nudity.
No, really?
I can only assume.
Wait.
Because there's no way he's really interested in that. Like,
are you guessing here, or are you for sure?
I just
in here?
know my
you
dad.
Also
okay,
often say you don't know what your dad likes.
No, that's not true.
Okay,
that's not true. I know my dad is like, I watch soccer, I watch golf, and then if you put on a Mission Impossible, I'll watch a Mission Impossible. I will fall asleep for sure.
You're talking about dads.
I'm talking about my dad. Yeah, dad
So
and dads.
Talking about dads
yeah,
at
dads.
this point. Well, he's watching golf and he likes an action movie?
Yes.
That's his dad.
But the thing about my dad is like, he doesn't like that nerdy shit, man. He just doesn't.
But wait, what's nerdy about Game of Thrones? Can we be specific? You mean like the
Game
fantasy
of Thrones,
element?
yes,
or?
Yes, the fact that it's like a medieval, like there's love stories and like there's
love
politics.
Stories are not nerdy. Politics are not nerdy.
I know, but like it's a fantasy version of all this like.
Okay, that's the answer.
Yes,
fantasy.
exactly. And but
listen, I didn't grow up knowing what I identify as nerdy is not what you identify as nerdy. I've learned this being around you. I did not think fantasy was nerdy ever once in my life until you guys started saying it.
What?
Everything is nerdy, Alana. You
Brett.
can be a football nerd.
I mean, if you're like
You can
exclusively
be a Jean-Claude Van Damme nerd.
Listen,
no, that's
I'm
clear.
just talking about myself at this point.
I'm clear. And if you're obsessively into one very specific little thing like fairies, all I do all day long is sketch fairies and I'm a fairy person and I love fairies.
That's nerdy as fuck.
I'm saying, yeah, I get it. That's nerdy. But the whole genre of fantasy, that was not something I identified as nerdy.
Well, that's
up.
interesting. That's very interesting. You must have either been around nothing but nerds or I
just don't think I had that instinct in my brain.
Well, I mean, I was bullied about it. And all my friends were bullied about it.
You're bullied about everything. I was bullied about looking pretty when I looked pretty and bullied about looking ugly when I looked ugly. So
yeah, but we're not talking about that.
That's
not what we're talking about, though. Like, you weren't called a nerd because of that. I'm talking about nerds. Like, nerds are, like, the kinds of people that are into, like, fantasy, sci-fi, like, magical shit.
I get what you're getting
and
at, like LARPers.
I'm just saying my dad has, like, almost zero interest in that. But
Right.
Game of Thrones has, like, nice boobs all the time, and that's pretty cool. So I think my dad just gets this, like, visual overload out of it. Like, he sees the dragons, and he probably thinks it's fine, but the boobs are like, hey, yeah. Like, that's nice.
I have an easy way to qualify what I'm saying. I think of like Willow is nerdy.
Absolutely.
But like Game of Thrones was the most popular show on TV. There's no way that's nerdy.
Okay, but
is the way I see it.
Okay, sure. Because nerdy is cool now. But
it doesn't matter because if it's the most popular thing, if nerd is meant to be the opposite of popular to some degree.
Well, nerd
Game
like
of Thrones
I'm saying.
is
Well, it's like I
popular.
said, nerdy is cool now. But and it's like
I think there's two definitions of nerdy.
Listen, nerdy is cool now, and things like Game of Thrones came from things that were definitely nerdy.
Sure.
And it all comes from that branch of nerdy shit.
But that you still consider it nerdy. Is
because
the
that's
question.
because I grew up with that stuff,
Right.
and I do consider something like Game of Thrones nerdy because even though it is a massively popular show, it just means the nerds are like have a bigger voice now because they use the internet and TV. And
Wait,
shit.
so here's an interesting psychology thing. Is nerdiness like God, I forget the word. Like does it stay on the thing it is? Is nerdiness a specific thing and it's always that thing? Or is nerdiness always in proportion to what's popular in culture? Like, does nerdiness stick to one thing?
No, none of that. The piece of entertainment isn't nerdy. The relationship to that piece of entertainment is where you become a nerd or you're not a nerd.
A
It's
whole
like,
third
my
element.
dad watches Game of Thrones and then is done with it. There are people that dress up like it. They go, they LARP out.
They write forum posts.
They go
They do
deep.
scenes from it. They, get
fan
into
films.
role-playing games, all that stuff.
Yeah, they buy the
I think it's
egg
all about
dildo.
what, and it was when we were growing up because
The
Lord of the Rings,
ovipositor?
everyone's there for it. What is it?
She's talking about the dragon dick that like lays eggs in your stomach that you can get.
Totally. I mean, everyone's
dildo,
gonna have
yeah.
one of those.
My mom listens to this. Go ahead. Brett.
Okay. So there's 3 psychology potentials for nerdage. I feel yours, Brett. I choose that definition.
Well, I think it's correct.
Oh, I think all 3 can be correct. All 3. There's no technicality that says one is right and one isn't right. It's more like what do we kind of generally all agree
But
collectively.
listen, Steve isn't there for the titties.
He
I guess it's all about.
I'm into this story.
It becomes more about how much more time are you willing to put into something that was just meant to be a piece of entertainment.
But he's definitely chasing it now because watching Westworld was like a big deviation, I think.
But Westworld was another like sexy, nudie, booby show. Think about it.
They're all HBO is sexy nudie booby. It's what
I'm
it is.
really bummed out that they did Fantasy Island as a movie and didn't bring it back as like an HBO or Netflix series.
Dude, I think it still can happen.
It could have been so great.
It can totally still happen.
I didn't see it.
Nobody gives a shit about what comes out anymore, dude. A new Grudge movie just came out.
Yeah, did you know?
Yeah,
Like came and went, and nobody gives a shit.
A total delight.
Did you see
It's
it?
not good, but I loved it.
Wait, the new Grudge?
No, Fantasy Island.
Oh, what about the new Grudge? Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't see the new Grudge.
You gotta see it. We gotta see it.
I don't think so.
What do you mean?
I don't think
Because
we
we gotta have an opinion, right?
I don't need the Grudge again. I don't need the Ring again. Like those were like a very specific moment in time.
But the
where
Ring
Japanese
versus the
horror
Grudge.
adaptations were like everything.
But the Ring versus the Grudge.
Steve,
Oh, I forgot we watched that. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we do have to watch The Grudge.
That was the
Fine,
last
I'm in.
time I would watch The Grudge, unless they
I'm
made
in.
a sequel to that one, and it stars that guy who was like the Grudge hunter and that little girl that was like, dude, that shit was cool, man. They took
Wait,
the
in
Grudge.
the new movie? In the new Grudge remake?
Yeah. No. I'm talking about the
Oh.
one we saw, The Grudge versus the Ring.
Oh yeah.
Because spoiler alert, in The Grudge versus the Ring, basically what happens is the
Come on now, what is it? It's Ju-on versus Ringu.
Sudaku or Sadako. Oh, you're right, Ringu. You're right. Anyway, basically what happens is, and if you don't want to know, just skip ahead a little bit. But basically what happens is the Grudge and the Ring cannot be stopped. And so they just combine into like a Ring Grudge creature, and then it can't be stopped. So like it could potentially go on.
Oh dear. I see The Grudge 2020 as I see The Irishman. I don't need to see it.
Alana Fickes, 2020. All right. So, The Leftovers. How fucking great is this show, Brett? Are you in by this point?
Oh, I mean, certainly. I was in last week.
But like, how do you feel?
It doesn't. Listen. Lost was on an island with a beach.
It was beautiful.
I'm never gonna feel the same about a show that's landlocked as I am about Lost.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really curious about everything I think I'm supposed to be curious about. But this episode in particular, I was like, I really respect the opening of this, and that they're putting it out there as like,
I know. It's gruesome.
it makes me feel like they're conditioning us for what's to come, and that makes me excited.
The opening is someone from the Guilty Remnant gets stoned to death.
And you see it.
What's so interesting is she speaks,
Yeah.
tell them to stop, and then later in the episode when you get the 2 Guilty Remnants at the diner,
Patty and Lori.
Patty tells her that she had brought Darby. Is that her name?
The woman who got stoned to death?
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot her name. Yeah, let's say Darby.
Okay. That's the name of the episode.
It's called Gladys.
Gladys, that's what it is.
It's
I
Gladys.
don't know where Darby came from, but I love it.
Let's run with it.
They're about to have a daughter
Gladys.
and name her Darby.
Yeah, she said when she did the thing at the diner where she would let her speak, she didn't break. And
Right.
so it sort of like spoke to where she was at mentally to speak at that point.
Right.
And then that's sad.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to be. It's supposed to feel bad.
Yeah.
And isn't it that, man, it's just Lindelof found a way to like make a cult like, you know, I'm so used to looking at cults and thinking about cults in a way that's like, man, these people are crazy. What could they possibly be thinking about? And they're dangerous and I want to stay away from them. And even though I do feel that way about the Guilty Remnant for the most part, I'm so fascinated by them.
Also in this episode, they introduced the fact that there are a lot of cults.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we wrote down the
We
names.
wrote the
Alana has
names.
them. And how fucking cool is that? Like, Lindelof's just like, fuck it. We're going to have, like, cults. Like, there's so many cults.
Yeah.
I will say the only negative I have for the show right now
Okay?
is his daughter and his daughter's friend need a purpose.
Yeah. I agree.
They keep popping up, and I'm like, okay, there's been enough episodes of her just like,
Being a teenager.
I get it, but like moping around and her friend being like snarky and witty, and they're not. It doesn't seem like they have a purpose in the show.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a pretty good show.
But you're not... You're going to wait it out and see what's going on.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's Margaret Qualley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She's qualified to be in a great show.
Qualified.
Oh.
She's qualified.
Oh man.
What's up, Alana?
You told me to bring up the cult names.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. What do we got? Well,
Bring
let's
'em
say the
up.
ones we know already.
We were just jotting down every time we heard a name so that we could know the actual names. Okay. So far we have Guilty
The
Remnant,
Guilty Remnant.
obviously, Heaven's Converts, and Tomorrow's Family.
What do you think those are?
I love it so much.
I think Tomorrow's Family.
Well, in that second episode, like, not to jump too ahead, but in the second episode, we have Nora in New York. And
Wait, but by second episode you mean episode 6?
sure, the second episode of this one, yes, episode 6. I'm sorry.
Where is The Leftovers?
It's in
Based?
New York.
New York. In the
The
East
city
Coast.
is in New York, right?
Yes.
It's Maple, New
Oh,
York.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's what I thought.
But so she goes to the city and New York City, and there's all those like people that are like totally in cults, but you're like, what am I even looking at here? Like, there's some people with like cowboy masks on and like
Zorro.
I
That's
tried
the
to
Zorro
pull a
cult.
clip. It just was too muffled. You couldn't hear it, but there's a guy who goes, Pope's not dead. Don't believe what you hear.
oh yeah, yeah. The Vatican's lying.
Yeah, the Vatican's lying.
He's hidden. They say he was hidden underground somewhere or something.
I love it so much. I love all of the fucking universe.
Me too.
In-universe stuff. This universe is so fascinating because it's totally a post-apocalypse.
Yeah, absolutely. A version of a post-apocalypse.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like-
Which is what I think so interesting about
Yeah.
the show. It's such an interesting take on post-apocalyptic
It's a modern
shit.
post-apocalypse set, not in a future, in our like modern day.
Yeah. And it's
You guys know
also,
what an apocalypse is?
I know it's an interesting interpretation of
gonna be
apocalypse
really
is what I was going to
disappointed.
say. Because it's not your usual.
No, it's not. I mean, you can describe it as that for sure because it's totally like. I mean, it's not. We don't know if it's the end of the world or if the world ended
Or mid-apocalypse.
You know, I was trying to think about
It's
what
like a
my.
quiet apocalypse junior.
It's a pre-apocalypse.
Apocalypse?
I was trying to think of what, dude. That's really good. Pre-apocalypse.
Pre-apocalypse.
I was
That's
trying
the
to think of
finale
what
is
my.
called.
I was trying to think of what my theories
I'll take a note.
were at the time for The Departed. At this point, when I watched it for the first time,
How
but
long ago?
when it aired.
Okay, me too.
But do you not want me to, at the risk of like one of my theories not being how it ends or something?
If you can remember theories you thought of in just season 1, I would love to hear them.
In just season 1,
but
yeah.
and of course I don't expect to know if they're true or
Well,
not true.
Careful.
Shit, I don't
do you
know.
think I
Brett,
should not
we
then,
not?
Brett?
Be careful.
Yeah,
Didn't we
Steve,
fall into a little bit of this on Lost?
it takes.
I think
take it
someone
careful.
got
Well, Owen.
their email privileges revoked.
Listen, Owen said
Don't. Oh,
smoke monster.
Dude, Owen texted
In, like, the
a gif of
first
Charlie
episode.
putting his hand, the not Penny's boat hand, in like season 2. or something like
Yeah,
that.
because we had a text thread.
okay, Steve. Here's the choice. The decision is no.
Okay. So anyway, but I love the universe. I love it, and I love that when Kevin wakes up in this episode, in episode 5, the TV is on, and you can hear there's like a standoff with like the cult, the FBI cult, like the alcohol, tobacco, and cult, whatever, and they're like busting in on another cult. Which had another name, or that's one of the ones we wrote down?
I don't know which part you're talking about.
Right
I don't
after
remember
the
when.
Very
stoning.
beginning.
Right after the stoning, Kevin wakes up and the TV's on, and there's like, remember,
Is he in the kitchen? What TV is on?
well, he's in the bedroom,
He's in
and
his bedroom.
he wakes
I
up.
missed
He
this.
looks for his white shirts, but can't find
Yeah,
them.
but,
I
but
guess I was
anyway,
just
but
paying
the
attention to
TV
the
is
shirts.
on for like a second, and you
Mm.
hear like, officials have busted into this compound, and the cult, blah 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 blah,
Mm.
and then he mutes the TV.
Mm.
And then he goes and can't find his fucking shirts. But I love it. I love when the TV's just on and you hear like the insane shit happening in this world. It's so fascinating. It's just really interesting. Like, we didn't say sci-fi. We said supernatural, right? We said supernatural. What was the
I
word that we
don't
loved a
know.
lot? It was like supernatural.
I don't remember loving a descriptive
It was like
word that.
spiritual, supernatural film or show or something.
Cool.
Anyway. Okay.
I love that they keep planting incidents where things are going wrong, but in a really human way. So you're constantly questioning: is that the show? Is that about the apocalypse, or is that just this thing happening? Which is what you would question, I think, in that universe. I love it. The ground isn't solid. You might fall in at any moment.
What do you think was going on with the dry cleaner?
I
We dive right in.
think nothing.
I think it's a basic human thing.
I think nothing.
You think it was just like Damon Lindelof had a bad experience at a dry cleaner and like this
I
is going
think
in there.
we're meant to I think what's happening with Kevin right now is his life is incredibly complex. He's at this incredibly stressful point in his life where his wife seemingly left their family to join a cult. And
How about that scene with Liv Tyler
incredible.
where she tells him she's not your wife?
She's not your wife anymore. Yeah, that's
She ain't your
crazy.
wifey.
I think what's happening to Kevin is so many weird things are happening to him, and he feels like potentially insecure that he's losing his mind like his dad did. And I think a lot of his actions are based around that. And so we're seeing him kind of like losing it and not realizing that maybe he's doing it unintentionally because he's so afraid of becoming his father. This is what I'm thinking. And so when we see things like, where the fuck are my shirts? And he's like going off the deep end, it's like the show showing us like how he's kind of losing it.
That he has his dad in him.
Yeah.
And is he going to go there? Is he not? Is he safe? Is he unhealthy?
But
whatever.
on the other hand, it's like, are these things that are happening to him really fucking happening? Like this deer that busts into his house, and this fucking guy that's shooting dogs and fucking giving him a truck, and like
There was
what
a minute where I thought that guy like didn't exist.
yeah, and then they like blatantly are like, no, he exists. Like, not only does he exist,
Well, it's not really until episode 5 that we know that. Like I know the daughter
no, but
sees
in
him.
this one, it's like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
right,
saying.
right, right.
It's not really until this episode that we know for sure
Totally
he exists. Because
This
even
is
though
where
the
they're
daughter,
like, yeah, he's real.
even though the daughter acknowledges him, like she doesn't call him by name or anything.
Right.
It could have just been a random person at the door. They could have explained later, but
Yeah, and
now
also
we know
it could be
he's a
someone
real
else,
person.
and he's seeing someone else,
exactly.
and he sees that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we know that element, he's not crazy. Because I think the whole time you're just like, is he crazy, or is this just one of those normal mistakes that happens in life and you can't remember if you got your
Right.
shirts back or not?
Right. And I can't help but feel like, and forgive me if this is maybe what happens, but
What? So maybe don't say it.
well, I'm just curious. Do you really think those are his shirts?
Well, I was curious. I
was
thought we were
curious
going to
about
get a
it, too.
scene where he tried to put one on and it was way too small.
Right. And he hasn't done it yet. So maybe it happens later.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I don't know. Like, I wasn't convinced that they are his shirts, but
I've only taken my clothes to the dry cleaners once.
But
and it
also,
wasn't a
like-
great experience.
so there you go.
So, I'm
But
just
also,
saying.
there's this thing with Kevin where it's like they really want us to see that perhaps he's becoming as crazy, or he's got the craziness his dad had. They really want us to like think that.
But I don't think it's
But
just about that.
But then he comes into the dry cleaners and there's his fucking shirts.
But crazy
So-
things are happening to all of the characters, and all of them just went through this huge version of apocalypse, and they don't know if something's going to come back. Is it gone forever? And what Lindelof is doing in every episode is having us question if something is human error, normal kind of shit,
perhaps
or if something else is
supernatural.
going on. It's not just with him, but it is primarily because of the dad connection, I think.
That's where I'm.
But I
leaning
think
with it.
I think that's the subtext of the whole show. The thing I said about like the ground you're standing on isn't solid. That's what I mean by that, is that's how you feel watching the show,
Right.
because you're constantly like, oh, did this thing fuck up, or did I put it on? Like when I lost the AirPods the other day, and I was like, where did I put that other? I can't find it. And you ended up putting it somewhere you never thought of. Like, that's normal human shit that happens every day, right?
Right, but I think in the show they're like validating.
They're emphasizing it too,
and they're validating it because it's like.
well, not all of them. You
Well-
still leave you questioning.
I think it's like, but the thing is with Kevin, it's like, where did the bagels go? Did they go to the same place everybody else departed to?
Right.
And it's like, no, at the end of the episode, he opens up the machine and they're in there.
Yeah, he keeps
and it's
finding
like,
them.
where's my
Yeah.
fucking shirts? Did they disappear into the
Right.
magic? Oh no, the dry cleaners just fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're seeing him really insecure and losing it over the idea that he's going crazy.
Right.
But then
right.
we're validated with that it really wasn't. And
Oh,
you're
he's
right,
not
it's
crazy yet.
Right. And you're right, it's not everything. We're not validated in everything like that in the show.
But the big
But for
boys.
Kevin, it seems like they really want us as an audience to think, well, maybe he isn't like his dad. And maybe he isn't crazy.
Yeah.
And then you're constantly on this roller coaster with that in the show.
Yeah.
It's really brilliant.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
I
thanks
don't
for
think
watching, guys. We're done
crazy.
with the episode. It's not
For
going to
the
get better
record.
than this.
For the record, I don't think he's crazy.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Do you think he's crazy? Alana?
I'm curious about what the dad's crazy is, because
I know. We've
I'm
yet
not-
to even see
I'm not
anything,
convinced
yeah.
that it's like real crazy and it's not some other like supernatural, or he's tapping into something, or he sees something someone else doesn't see, or
When are we gonna get that dad episode, Lindelof?
Steve's got tentacles.
Where's my dad?
I love when the news for the new Demolition Man came out. I got so many tweets and texts from people going, "Where's my mom? Where's my mom?"
When did we just did that on like a random stream one night, right?
No, it was dynamic banter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
okay,
right.
okay,
So
okay, okay,
anyway,
okay.
this episode was amazing. I don't know if there's much. I mean, we kind of went through it all, right? Oh, the
Well, let's
Bible
dig into
verse.
guest, and then we can double back.
Wait, the
Yeah,
Bible verse.
verse.
What did you get out of that?
Who are you speaking?
So Matt and Kevin are
Yep.
driving to the morgue to so that Matt can pray for the body of Gladys. And
really what I thought during that scene is I wonder if the writer got this from the book, or if they had heard this verse, or did they have to do research to find this. And I thought, I don't know if I'd read the whole Bible to find an interesting. This is really what was going through my head at that moment, so I didn't think about it too much.
I
I
felt
just was like, man, it really feels authentic that they have this Bible verse to pull out.
interesting.
Very true, yeah.
The Leftovers wiki says that it's taken from the non-canonical Christian text, the Gospel of Thomas.
oh
Okay.
saying Matt reads Psalm 121 when he prays for. It's Psalm 121, and it was question 121.
Oh God, he's fucking our brains
Oh,
deeper.
that's so crazy.
Tell me more.
When he prays for
Is it
Gladys at
actually
the
Psalm
compound.
121?
Yeah, that's what it says. Saying 13, Matt reads Psalm 121.
And
I'm looking it up.
that's
Fucking
the one.
Lindelof,
That's the
man.
one he reads in the car.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Damn, that's so cool.
Well, are we talking KJV or are we talking NIV?
Well, what he's saying in that, because he decodes it for us. Like I also, when I listened, was like, a couple more times now. What do you mean by that? But when Hot Cop says, "What the fuck?" Our preacher responds. He says, "It's easier to stay silent than to speak the truth," and that's like the basic bottom line of it. I do feel like that was a theme throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes the assumption that the Guilty Remnant have given up.
Yeah, they're like
Right. And
dead,
and
but
why
alive,
even
beyond
bother?
How about
dead.
when he goes to pray?
And
And
he get
Oh,
whistles.
yeah. And the
Hot Cop's
he got,
wife comes out with the whistle.
he got whistled.
He got fucking whistled,
Dude.
Where's
bro.
the run? You know?
There's nothing more embarrassing than getting whistled. Guys, listen to what the wiki says about this fucking episode. This is blowing my mind.
Okay.
When Kevin puts the beer on the roof of his car,
Oh, yes.
2 penguin toys are seen in the window of a store behind him, perhaps indicating that the score is now Penguin 2. As Kevin goes to take out his anger on Faisal, just as the children in Anthony's office take their aggression out on the inflatable penguin.
Oh my gosh.
I
mean,
hope that's not true. That's too good.
But after
No, it's
watching,
true, dude.
After watching, what was that other series of his we just saw? The all I can think of is
Watchmen?
Leftovers. Watchmen. After
Well, yeah,
watching
because
Watchmen,
he did that in Watchmen the whole time.
Yeah, that's gotta be. Oh, by the way, speaking of like subtle background things, I saw a slate. There was
Oh
a
yeah,
slate
Alana caught a slate.
in
Really?
the
Yeah,
background.
I've never seen
Alana caught a slate is my favorite Hardy Boys book.
Alana Caught a Slate is my favorite Belle Biv DeVoe song.
It was in the back seat of the Guilty Remnant's car when it was just
When
those
Patty
two women.
and Lori were driving to the diner.
green-
When they're
Cap
driving
it?
to the diner.
No.
Should have.
But it's right in that. So for those of you that want
It's
to
a
find it and maybe tweet it at us or send it to our tag us in our at First Time Show podcast on
anything
Instagram.
or Instagram.
On Twitter, it's The First Time Show. I don't know.
Oh,
It's too
excuse,
confusing. You'll
excuse.
find it. I've been tweeting about it or whatever. But anyway, it's in the scene where, just like we said, Patty is driving Lori to the hotel where they're going to eat at the diner.
Mhm.
And Lori looks out the car window, and it's the last shot before it cuts away from them there.
And it's in
the back seat.
the back seat behind Lori's head.
Like, very visible.
and it goes out of focus and then into focus. So it's a little hard to catch at
I've,
first. It's
I've-
when the music's on the first time they're like listening to music. She puts the music on and that's in the back seat. Bye bye baby.
I've never seen a slate on camera in a movie before. Ever. And I've seen bloopers and mistakes.
Oh, like left.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Ever. I've never seen a slate in the movie. In a movie by
Oh,
accident.
yeah.
Ever.
I was like, they're in bloopers because they always come in with
Yeah.
the.
But I've never seen, like, did you know you can see the slate in Dumb and Dumber? Like that, and I know
Well, now
about all that
everybody,
shit.
everyone's gonna tweet at you all the slates in
I've
every
seen
movie
the
now.
Ghost Kid in 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, that's creepy. I don't know if I want to hear
Coffee
about
Cup and Game of Thrones.
Lando bonking his
Game of
head in
Thrones-
Jedi. Remember whenever somebody bonked their head in Star
Yeah,
Wars?
yeah,
I was
you
like,
paused it.
this is the moment where this guy bonks his head.
Head bonk.
I've never
Bonk
seen a
count.
slate. That's so crazy. Nice
the
work,
Wizard of
Alana.
Oz one is the creepiest.
It so is. But then you
Oh.
find out what it is, and you're like, it's not that creepy.
Yeah, but it's just visually.
Visually, it was the scariest thing ever to me when I was a teenager.
What was? Okay, I don't want to hear it. Never mind.
Okay, so anyway, and
stuff.
here's another piece of trivia from this episode that's kind of interesting. The clipboard held by the ATFEC employee in the final scene when they're sending Gladys's body to the burner or whatever, among other cults, a group called Apollo's Army.
Should I add it
Yeah.
to the list?
Yeah. So cool. What if we made like T-shirts that were like sports teams,
Yeah.
but it said like
jerseys?
yeah, Apollo's Army and Guilty Remnant.
I pick Apollo's Army because I like Greek mythology.
I like future families.
Tomorrow's family.
Tomorrow's family.
Steve, you're heaven's convert.
Tomorrow's Family is my favorite though. It's so funny. Can
I
Oh,
ask
what
a
about the
que-
"Let
oh.
Us Smoke" sign?
It's not the only. They have signs all over the place.
But what do you think about that one? It's so weird.
It's
What's the smoking
stupid.
about?
I think it's stupid.
Oh, Alana hates the Guilty
I hate
Remnant.
the Guilty Remnant. I'm replacing Owen here. Owen, I've got your back. I hate them like a
I
murderer.
pulled a clip, but then I got rid of it because it didn't have the impact I wanted. But where he goes, "Oh, Guilty Remnant, those fuckers. What's with the smoking?"
Yeah. My feelings
Dude,
exactly. Fuck y'all.
What about when he's like, dude, we can fucking wipe them all out?
Oh yeah.
That's insane. But isn't that
He's like, "No, we're good."
yeah, because his fucking wife's in it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but he's also, I think he's still
also
a good person.
yes. And he is the only one that gives a shit about them, and he does seem to really care about them being hurt. Now, whether or not that's because his wife is there is yet to be seen. But yeah, it's really interesting that they're just like, because if you don't wipe it out now, it's gonna like you can stop it before it spreads or whatever, and it's like. I mean, he's probably not wrong.
My favorite part about that scene is the guy on the phone, his voice. He's like, yeah, totally. Just knock him out and then they're all
yeah.
gone."
The way that guy talked
What?
was really weird.
It started super
what?
I
like...
thought it was gonna turn out to not be an FBI agent. That it
but-
was somebody.
Yeah.
But listen.
Or was it just a figment of his imagination?
Well, here's the thing.
Of his magic
Lindelof.
nation.
Here's the thing. Lindelof is too careful at this point with writing and with. I mean, even the cast of this show has to work. Even the like extras and the featured extras or whatever, or even the people with the tiniest bit parts, like that woman at the end of the 6th episode that answered question 121 by saying,
Yeah.
do you think that they went to a better place in regards to The Departed? And she says no. And that moment could have been so like whatever, but that woman just like lost it in saying no. And you could see that passion and sadness and emotion even in that actor. So I feel like the acting and the intensity of that person on the phone with Kevin is not only intentional. My theory is that maybe he didn't even say that, and the conversation had ended already, and Kevin was maybe imagining the rest of that conversation.
That's one of those, is the ground sinking under you, or are you fine? I
Yeah.
could
But who
absolutely
knows?
say either or.
Luckily, there's a lot of shit I don't remember about this show, and that's one of them.
I don't remember so much, I'm realizing. Everything's a surprise.
But it was funny because when we got to the scene where there were 2 moments where you were like, something's about to happen.
Yeah, I remember the about. It's like it was a dream. Like
Yeah.
we'll enter a certain room and I'll be like, oh, I know something important's gonna happen
What
in like
was it?
2 minutes.
It was when Nora was going to get shot by the prostitute woman.
It was before Nora gets shot by the. It was before Nora goes in to see the
Holy Wayne.
And there was another time
Was
too.
it the bag? Was it it was Patty's bag with the name on it?
Because I still am not 100%
okay.
on that.
No, I understand. I said before, my brother-in-law is watching through Lost,
Right now?
and we were on the phone the other day, and I was like, "Where are you in Lost?" And he's like, "I'm at the end of season 4," and I was like, "Oh man, that's when I was like, what's happening at the end?" And he told me, I was like, "Really?
I couldn't remember
What happened
either.
after that?" I
cou-
couldn't remember fuck all about it.
Yeah, this is every time I talk to people about a show I've already seen. There's a show that I'm watching that I got. We were watching Westworld season 3, and we were on episode like 4. And a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I'm just starting to watch this and this from episode 1." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't remember which thing happens in which
Dude,
episode."
that's
And
the
I was
truth,
watching it
though.
that week.
Because that show goes everywhere.
A lot of shows do that, but also
Westworld?
Westworld, yeah.
well, season 3.
I
I
can
think
tell you everything about the show West Wing and Chuck.
I
I
agree
can
with
walk you down episode by episode.
What's that one you kept talking about on the last season or on the Lost season? In the bedroom or something?
Oh, the
Friends.
movie in the bedroom.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a movie. Okay, I thought it was a show. All right. Well, anyway.
Wait, I have a question
Oh,
about
sure,
episode
sure.
5 before we move on. I really need to know what's up with dogs. It's like there are always dogs doing weird shit, like leading plot lines and doing stuff. Is there like a dog
I did love
thing?
when that guy pushed past him to shoot those dogs.
I know, it was like we're really stuck in this Guilty Remnant story, like where like they're gonna find Gladys and is she gonna be alive, and you're really caring about it, and then all of a sudden he comes
Yeah.
into the frame with the gun and
He's like a Far Side cartoon.
yeah, exactly. Like, hold on, what are you here for? I'm shooting dogs. What are you here for?
Oh,
Our cult member might have been killed.
What are you doing? They're not our dogs.
They're not our dogs.
Because
I
even in
love
this
it.
one, when he's when Hot Cop is in the car watching the Guilty Remnant house, and he falls asleep and he gets woken up by the dude with 2 dogs just like ferociously barking.
Yeah.
There's constantly dogs.
I had to rewind that 3 times to understand what that guy said.
Oh, you couldn't understand him?
Subtitles, baby.
No, he says
seemed like such an East
oh, he's
Coast-
talking out the Badger house?
Well, he was talking about how they own the whole neighborhood, or there's too many people there now, and
And he was like, I wouldn't hate it if they all died or something to that extent.
Nobody likes
That was casting when they're like, I mean, he's awful, but there's something about him.
What do you mean? He's the dog trainer. All right, so
Oh yeah, probably.
episode 6 is called Guest.
Yes.
And well, we didn't say who wrote or who directed Gladys. How dare we not respect the format? Mimi Leader.
Yes.
And Mimi Leader,
Yay, woman.
once she enters the series, it gets a lot good.
Yeah, baby girl.
She's real good.
She's so good. And she was, did she do Lost stuff?
Mimi,
Maybe
I don't know
not.
if she did Lost.
Maybe not. I don't know, but she's great. Things get real good with Mimi Leader.
Thank
so
you,
we're really
Mimi.
excited.
We love you.
Mimi.
Mimi, Mimi, Mimi,
Mimi. Mimi.
Mimi, Mimi.
And
Let's just do
then
that for the rest of the podcast.
and then Carl Franklin directed this one. And
Mimi, Carl.
Mimi. I love this episode. I remember this episode because
Yeah,
all
I
the
remember
Nora
it too.
episodes are so good, and she's just, God, give her every Emmy. Did she ever win an
Yeah.
Emmy? I don't remember.
Why isn't she in other stuff? And if she is, what is it? And why isn't there more? And also, I feel the same way about the mayor. What else is she in, and why isn't it more?
Yeah, you want me to look it up?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah,
Talk
we can look it
amongst
up.
yourselves.
Mimi Leader directed 1 episode of West Wing.
Oh, Scotia.
Well, thank you, Brett, for keeping it consistent.
Brett, what is your feeling on the Guilty Remnant? I feel like we haven't heard your feelings that much, or are you just not deciding?
Feelings, or what do I think they're up to?
Whichever one you prefer to answer.
Like, do they annoy the fuck out of you?
How do you feel about them? What
are
do you
you
think their
curious?
purpose is? Yeah, all of it.
How do you
I
feel,
don't
Brett?
think I'd
How do you?
join.
What, are you hungry? You thirsty?
Brett, what's in your butt?
What's in your
I don't
wallet?
think I would join. I think I would get really upset with them standing outside of my house. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think I would have to be held back. I would be very close to
Right.
murder.
I think they would catch me on the wrong day, and
Oh.
I would be throwing a rock out of my car.
Oh yeah. I would be like
Hypothetically.
driving by with a baseball bat out the window and trying to get close.
Okay, I have your
What?
answers.
But it is like that episode where they went in and changed all the photos, and then the next episode, was this the next episode? Whatever. She gets stoned. It sounds
It wasn't the next one.
awful, but I'm like, I can see it. Like I
Yeah.
can see society that way being like, no, don't come in my house.
I'm like, why are they surprised? Why aren't they all being murdered all
Right.
the time?
And I guess that's
Like, I
why.
can see people really snapping.
Yeah, and I guess that's why it's kind of like an interesting thing that Kevin's so adamant about this curfew thing. Because it really doesn't seem like anybody else would be targeted by these people other than the Guilty Remnant.
Yeah, I guess I feel a little questioning.
It's more the curfew of like, don't go kill people in the Guilty Remnant.
Yeah.
Revenant.
Oh, you think he's trying to protect them?
Don't go kill people in the
I think he's just
Revenant.
trying to protect everyone. He's like, if there's nobody out late at night, they're not going to steal any more people. And
Right,
tie them
because
up
then
to a
someone
tree.
couldn't be abducted or whatever. I guess he could have been
Yeah.
like,
And kill
if you have to be out, make sure you're with a group of like 5 or more
a group of
people or
other
something.
guilty remnants.
A group of other guilty remnants, yeah. All right, here's your answers. So,
Oh,
who were we first wondering about? The mayor?
the mayor and Nora.
What about Nora?
Just
Oh,
tell
if
us the mayor
If you
first.
ever won an Emmy.
If she ever won an Emmy,
Or
oh,
if she
man.
was in-
Would it
what
say
else
that
she's
on
in?
IMDb? Amanda Warren is the name of the mayor,
Uh-huh.
and she was in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, I never saw it. Is there anything else big she was in? that
She
we
was
might
also
know?
in Black Mirror. I don't remember
Okay.
where in Black Mirror. 2017 episode. She was in Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know about that.
She was in the Purge television series.
These are her top billings. My God, she's so good. Why isn't she?
I mean, she does a ton of TV, and she
Oh,
was in
okay.
7 Psychopaths. That was a good one.
All right. Well,
She was in
we
Jessica
love her.
Jones.
Hire her in more like consistent, real, going on roles that are big and juice filled.
House of Cards.
Give her some gushers.
She was in Mother.
All right. Okay, now let's check Nora.
Yeah, she does a lot. She's great.
Okay, Nora. She won the Critics' Choice TV Award
Nice.
for Best Actress in a Drama, The Leftovers.
Yeah, she did.
And then the year before, she was nominated for Critics' Choice, but she never got nominated for an Emmy for Leftovers. But she did get nominated for an Emmy for Fargo.
Go fuck herself! Go fuck herself! Go fuck herself!
Did you know she's also going to be in the new Ghostbusters?
Nora?
She's like a huge role. Yeah.
Are
she's
you
like
making jokes?
No, she's in the new Ghostbusters movie. It's not like she's not
Fucking
a Ghostbuster,
cool.
but it's like the sequel to the.
The thing I know her best is she was Ben Affleck's sister in Gone Girl.
Oh,
Right.
When I saw her, that was the thing I thought of.
Magic fucking hugs.
Uh,
Magic fucking hugs.
All right.
sorry.
So,
So she checks into this hotel with rules.
yeah, well, she walks past all those people, and then there's like a fucking crazy guilty remnant in New York that hands her a grenade.
And pulls this.
Oh, I
the pin
know.
out.
That was really nice.
That was so cool.
That was really
Like,
good. Nice.
I really did like that Vatican one, though. The Vatican lies.
I love to fast forward a little bit. The guy that wants her to ask him what he does.
Yeah,
He's a force of nature.
he's
as
so
an
Yeah.
actor.
good. He's
He's
so
in a movie, the Whit Stillman movie, Damsels in Distress.
Uh-huh.
He's absolutely fantastic.
We're gonna see that guy grow and grow and grow and then take over Hollywood, I think.
Yeah, he's already been in a bunch,
I
isn't he?
feel like he's been in it for a while, but
Yeah.
every time I see him, he's such a
Yeah, but they're gonna put him in a
scene
Marvel.
stealer. Like you can't
Yeah.
not.
yeah. Scene
He's got
stealer.
this kind of like perfect balance of like I totally hate this guy, and then it's like, do I?
I'm
Yes,
telling you,
Nah, he's
exactly.
great.
they're gonna
Yes.
put him in a Marvel movie or something, and then he's gonna explode.
They're gonna
He could
put
be a
his
great
face on a
Flash.
marble.
He'd be a great Flash, dude. He
The
was
guy,
so good in.
Ezra Miller is like canceled or something, so he could totally be Flash now.
Dude, Ingrid Goes West. He was so good in that.
Oh shit! It's
He
so
was
easy to
so
forget
good.
because he so blends into the character
but-
that it's so easy to be like, oh, that was him.
And he's such an asshole in that one.
Yeah.
He's such an asshole.
He does.
But
play a
here it's
good
like
asshole.
you get him
Yeah. God, I loved it.
overwhelming, and then they cut away to the axe murderer from Last Action Hero. And it's just a lot to digest all of a sudden.
Yeah. Dude, that whole thing with her checking into the hotel and then her making out with that dummy version of that
Yeah.
guy was like a fucking short film.
Yeah.
This episode was
fantastic.
very lost in that it was like a
good.
breakaway
Yeah.
short film.
Well, and you didn't care, like, really, because that whole setting of this, like, conference is so fascinating. Like, what are they even talking about? And, like, what is it? Like, and what's that book? Like, I want to read that book that guy wrote. I just want to read that book, Brett.
I will say I was very happy that she took the security to that like
Yeah.
the panel
Yeah.
and was vindicated.
I
Fuck
know, because you
yeah.
felt so bad for her.
Yeah, it was very like Twilight Zone. Where
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, is she gonna take them out there and then she's gonna be sitting on the panel and there's two like something insane or whatever.
Yeah. What if they did that? What would you do if there was another Nora up there and then the
Or if
episode
the chair was
ends?
just empty and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, she got drunk in the room upstairs and then went downstairs.
That would suck.
Blackout
That would
drunk
be. I
and
think
like
if
smashed a bottle, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have liked that as much.
yeah, if that happened,
course.
I'd be like, no, that's too many mysteries now.
That's like the whole. It's the whole thing
Wait,
though with
what?
the like
there was
sinkholes in
two
the
of her?
ground.
No, if they got there and she wasn't there.
Oh no, I was saying I
And
wouldn't
there
have
was
liked
no
it
one
if
there.
after what we saw where she was making out with the dummy, if what we didn't see was whatever she had drank or taken, she was so out of it that she didn't remember going down and just doing that thing.
Right.
Where she
Oh,
smashed
I
the bottle,
see. I
and
see.
It's like,
Okay.
oh yeah,
Right.
she has to
Oh,
leave.
so she was responsible for it.
Yeah, I
she realizes
would've-
it by
I
not
didn't
seeing
like
her
that
anybody there.
idea.
Right. But we talked
But,
about that when it was rolling, Steve, you and I, remember? We said, well, they're obviously setting us up to think either it was her and she doesn't remember and it's more like brain fuckery, the ground is not
Yeah.
solid, or
But what about her name
She's right.
badge thing? Like that would have been.
yeah, it's
like-
all the same storyline.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
somebody is either impersonating her or it's all in her head and the world is
I did think
psycho.
the part where she went and got the fake ID made was a little wonky.
Oh, I liked it. I was like, this bitch is so intense. She's like, so gonna make this work.
And I love she walks in and the security guard immediately picks her up.
yeah,
Like, the
exactly.
framing of it was really
li-
nice.
And that's the thing. Like, a good security guard at a nice hotel like that would totally do that.
Especially if you
Yeah.
just kicked this person out that morning. You're like ready for her to
right.
strike back.
And then she just goes with a strange man to a strange apartment and gives him her PayPal info.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think I would have done any
Yeah.
of those things.
I would not in New York City follow some guy. Never. This is like,
Oh, you know,
no,
what
no,
I
no.
just
Especially
remembered.
not the axe murderer from Last Action Hero. Last Admiral.
You know what I just remembered? That when we see Nora buying like all the junk food for her kids and stuff, or like all the food
Yeah.
for her kids and stuff,
yeah.
and it's just normal, and you're like, okay. But then you're like, she's replacing all this shit in her house. And,
Buys it every week.
I love how Alana was like, don't feed your kids that shit.
Yeah, I couldn't hold it
What
in.
you do.
I know, but that's what I said
That's
to her.
what
I was like,
Steve
but that's
said.
what people do. You do.
And then I
After
said,
a couple years of like, it's all going to be organic and vegan
and then they don't eat any
no,
of it.
but then I said, look,
Here's
exactly.
guy here, meet Captain Crunch.
Look at what that's created. Look at the world around us.
I
and-
mean,
and
look, we know that. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
we're self-destructive.
that's not
Anyway,
an excuse. That's not an okay.
But the point I
we
was trying
want
to make
live.
was that Alana was like, you can't feed your kids that shit. And then later on, Nora thinks she caught the girl that stole her badge.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, you fucking called me a bitch because she said because of Frosted Flakes, which I think we have a clip
my
of.
kid, said my kids disappeared because I fed them frosted.
Yeah. And Steve was like, that's you. And I was like, I know it is. It is 100%
You said
me.
my kids disappeared because I gave them Frosted Flakes.
It's so funny.
But it's
Alana
me
was like,
because-
see? I was like, that's Alana right there.
It's me because the woman goes, no, I brought up a theory about this thing that I
Which
wanted
totally
to
would've
discuss
been
that
you,
relates to,
yeah.
and that's exactly what I say every time. Like, it's never about the thing. There's a whole string
Yeah.
of like psychology behind it,
Well-
and you just minimize it to one thing. This is every fight I get
And it
in.
was important to hear that story because you learned a lot more about Nora and how she's coping with her loss. And then
Yeah.
at the end of the episode, when she talks to the author of that book, she also just like flies off the fucking handle at him. And she obviously can't handle the grief of the loss of her family. And in seeing it connect that way and seeing her past behaviors she hasn't quite grown out of that yet. Was interesting for the character. And then she fucking is led to Holy Wayne.
and then
And then
it,
she gets a hug.
And then she gets a fucking hug. Where's that goddamn clip, you bitch?
and his conversation with
Magic
her.
fucking hugs.
Dude.
His conversation with her is super illuminating too. Like you just basically learn exactly what's going on inside of her emotions and brain.
I know. I love how he like knocked her walls down by being like, I don't give a fuck about you. I've already got your money and I'm tired.
right. I really learned more on this watch through of this episode. And it's really fascinating and it makes Holy Wayne I just feel differently about Holy Wayne this time.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's because
I had
of
a
the different
theory
year.
about Holy Wayne when I first watched it, and then whatever happens, happens. And then this time I'm watching it, I'm like, I forgot what happens. And then I was like, I think I understand.
Okay.
But I totally don't remember what happens with Holy Wayne at all.
Where was Holy Wayne's ranch? Was that New York?
No.
No.
Okay.
I think it was somewhere deserty, like near.
So now, like, the two worlds are starting to connect.
Yeah, it was like Arizona or something.
Yeah.
Is there 10
Something like that.
episodes in season 1?
10, yeah.
10, yeah.
So we're halfway. We're over halfway now.
10, 10, 220.
10, 10,
baby.
220. Okay, so let me read these trivias really quick because they're actually quite interesting, guys. Did you
And-
know?
All right.
One of the protesters is holding a sign citing Matthew 24:40, which says, 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. Another has a sign citing Acts 20:31, a passage which Wayne in the pilot claims his son quoted to him in a dream. Wayne quotes Ecclesiastes? Ecclesiastes 9:4 to Nora. So he was quoting the Bible to Nora when he was speaking to her. Apparently.
Who was?
Holy Wayne.
Oh.
Magic fucking hugs.
So anyway, it says this is the first episode not to feature Lori and Patty.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is featured only in voice. Kevin and Nora remain the only characters to have appeared on screen in every episode.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
Again,
wait,
very
wait,
lost.
wait. Nora's DSD ID number is 42 ECN. 42 is one of the numbers on Lost. Fuck you.
It's also the like answer to the universe if you
Right,
watch.
exactly. One of the protesters outside the conference has a sign that says "Tomorrow's Family Today," referencing the cult. Oh wait,
Family.
referencing the cult Agent Kalani mentioned in Gladys. A banner for Heaven's Converts mentioned in the pilot and Gladys says, "We are left in purgatory." One conspiracy theorist has a sign claiming World Health Organization did it.
I called that one out.
A protester
WHO.
Who did it?
A protester advertising popelives.com claims that the Pope is hiding in a basement in Sicily. That's so funny because I love that. That means in the writer's room they were just having so much fun with coming up with
Dude,
cult
all of this
names.
would happen. I'm sure it was just like, what do you think would happen?
Yeah. 100%.
Right,
And then
right.
Put it all in the show.
But I love the what do you think would happen is like, oh, what if the Pope didn't what if there's a theory that the Pope didn't disappear in the departure, but he still went into hiding because he wanted everyone to think that it was a holy reason and he was a holy person.
Well, they know all these things because they're like people like Elvis Presley died and people don't believe it. These theories already exist about the like surprise
Dude,
and
people
strange
think the Queen of
deaths.
England is a reptile alien creature.
Yeah. Well, just like
Yeah.
people think Paul McCartney is like a
And
double.
I do too.
I'm right there.
Do you believe the Andrew WK one?
What
What's
is
that
that?
one?
They say that like he died and his twin brother replaced him.
No, I believe the Avril Lavigne one though.
Wait, I've heard this, I think. What's the
You
Avril
gotta
Lavigne one?
just search YouTube like Avril Lavigne.
Let's save it for our
or
conspiracy
something less
theory.
morbid. But
There are
me and Bree
so
went
many.
down a fucking rabbit hole of watching conspiracy theory videos
Those are
about
the
Avril
best.
Lavigne. Recorded one album, passed away, and they found like her sister or someone who looked like her to come in and fill in for the next albums.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what a makeover
It's-
will do. Get you all that kind of press.
I wanted to do a lengthy documentary about it with Bree,
But really
where we
though,
actually track down Avril Lavigne after do an interview.
what do you guys think about Britney Spears right now though? Because I'm worried.
Have we ever not been worried about Britney Spears?
That's
Right.
Well, I love her. I want her well.
I definitely thought that we would see a tragic end in the early 2000s. So I'm hoping the best. I wishing her the best.
Same. All right, back to leftovers.
Okay. I can't. Let's see. Any other interesting things here?
Oh,
here we go.
We didn't talk about her getting shot in the beginning.
Here we go. Book author and series co-creator Tom Perrotta has said that the scene between Nora and Holy Wayne in this episode is his favorite scene of the entire series.
Yeah, it might be mine too, because they give us some damn fucking answers, actually. One time.
Guantanamea.
Thanks, boys. Guantanamea down. 2 to go.
That's so funny. There's a section here in the wiki that tells you the differences between this episode and the book. And
Cool.
It's a lot, so I don't want to get into it. But this one seemed kind of interesting because I was just skimming to see if anything was interesting. But listen to this. Nora's ritual of being shot by prostitutes is an invention of the show. In the book, she engages in the healthier pursuit of riding her bicycle for miles daily. Whoa, Lindelof. Nah, we're on HBO. Let's have a prostitute shooter.
Is the woman she keeps going to see with the kids, is that like the first prostitute?
No,
No.
that is the one her husband cheated on her with, the preschool teacher.
Yeah, Matt told her that the preschool teacher...
Yeah.
He cheated
Yeah.
with the preschool
Yeah.
teacher.
Have we seen her before?
No. What?
No.
I
This
don't
was
think
the
so.
first time, yeah.
Okay.
But her going to see her is her first time.
Also, yeah. And then
seeing
she
her.
gets
When
the...
she told the prostitute, like the other girl, the first girl who did it wouldn't do it again. I thought that's who that blonde woman was.
Wait, what?
I was like,
words
what's going
came
on
out of your
here?
mouth? What? Will you repeat what you just said? I could not hear it.
I said when she told the prostitute that the first prostitute wouldn't do it anymore, like wouldn't shoot her ananymore.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right, yeah.
I thought that blonde girl she keeps going to see was the first prostitute.
Oh.
And I was like, this is a weird subplot.
Oh. Interesting.
What you're saying makes a lot more sense.
That's really funny because her going back continually
Yeah, it's
was
funny.
so ridiculous.
I thought she was
Like
lying.
getting shot by that woman.
I thought she was lying that she's been shot before. I just was straight up
I
like,
got
oh, she's
that from her
convincing
too,
her.
that she was lying.
Mm.
But who knows?
Well, who knows?
All right. Well, listen. Well,
Would
what
you do it for $3,000?
No,
Uh-uh.
absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
They shot it really
Okay.
well because
I
I
mean-
thought about it if I was like desperate for cash and stuff. But then when you get to the moment where she's actually holding the gun, I put myself in those shoes. I could never. I don't have good aim. No.
I mean, and when you fire a gun, there's like recoil. You have to like be ready for that and
Too
aim
much.
for that.
Too
And
much,
it's
too
like,
much, too much.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I mean, whatever.
Nope.
But she did it, and then it's funny
And here
because
we are.
those, and here we are.
I'm like maybe $500,000. Maybe I think about it.
Jesus, I would shoot someone right in the face for $500,000.
It was like an episode.
Well, just find somebody who's rich. It's an easy murder, Brett.
You think with $500,000 you could get away with that?
I mean, like, I think you could get like a boat and sail away.
I don't think you could get a nice enough boat for
Basically,
$500,000 with gas and everything.
Basically, that whole scenario is a 1,000 Ways to Die episode.
Yeah.
Like the girl calls the prostitute and says, "I'm wearing a bulletproof vest," and then boom, kills her, and then that's the...
And it's called The Girl Calls the Prostitute.
All right. Well, listen. Let's get into the clips and then emails and
Wait.
and we have to be very careful because we actually got flagged and some people were unable to watch the video of our show, which you can catch on youtube.com/thevalleycast.
We got flagged because the music
What, did they mute it?
has rights.
It got
has
it got taken down from certain countries or whatever, or it's like blocked from certain regions
because of the music.
Because of the music, yes. So we really need some new themes, otherwise it's going to be a pretty chill show. But not that really matters, but it would be fun to get that.
Before you go to them, can I tell you the theme I thought for episode 6?
Sure.
My themes are very vague and rough now. I think they're just the entire show themes, but whatever. What I felt, but whatever. Episode 6, I feel like the themes were about...
What about 5?
Oh, we kind of talked about it. The line he says about it's easier to stay silent than speak the truth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of about that and about fire and stones, and they talk about the stoning, and then the alternate of that is fire will devour you, the fire of not speaking the truth or whatever.
Right.
So like fire and stones and staying silent or speaking. And then episode 7, I felt like the themes were being a stand-in, like impersonating something, or the real thing, and either being that or having that, like the dummy that she has, that whole concept of having a dummy replace the person who's left. Like, does a stand-in or some impersonator matter, not matter, whatever. And then the second theme I felt was dying alone, or death or being alone. Death and being alone, sorry.
Oh, interesting. Where'd you get the being alone part from?
There was just a lot of emphasis on being left alone.
Like with Nora being left
that
behind and her whole family.
The whole
gone.
episode is about Nora, so it's like no doubt
Yeah.
that's what the themes are going to be in that episode. But yeah, there are all these themes, it seemed, about being left alone and being alone. I mean, literally, they have her go to the divorce court and get a divorce, and you see her just at every point in that feels so strange because there's nobody there with her. She's not fighting anyone. Nobody has another opinion. It's just like,
well, because
are you getting divorced? Yes, you got the divorce. Okay, she walks out of the divorce court alone. Like most people, you walk and you get in the elevator together. You wait so the other person goes first. Like,
well, even Kevin too.
Yeah, everything is like blaringly alarm sounds. You're alone. You're alone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
and
Nora.
you get the feeling that like Matt would have been there for her, but they're fighting.
I don't get that feeling. I don't get the feeling that her
Well,
and
he
Matt...
called her. He left her the message.
Oh, and that's true. And well, that's true. But she also was like, "You only come here when you need something." Or whatever.
I don't feel that they're close at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he left her a message and she saved it.
She saved it.
I mean, I don't think they hate each other.
I
just
also
don't
like
think...
that she didn't kiss the guy because he was married.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, very interesting.
That was
And
really
even
good.
on the influence of whatever drug that was, the FDA was approving the next year.
Oh,
apparently.
yeah. It'll be approved soon. That's right.
That scene was
we can't
just
play
like
the music, so we just have to go like
that scene.
clips.
That scene in the hotel room was borderline cringe.
I hated it. I was like,
It
I
was
so
really
don't
good,
want
but it
anything
was-
to do with any of these people.
It was almost on the edge of being cringy, like this, like actors pretending to be drugged and drunk.
Yeah, that too.
You know, like,
Yeah.
but
it's also
it was
like
still,
that at those kind of parties. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so clips. The way we'll do clips is we'll do like a little. There you go, guys. Welcome.
Wait, play a few clips to fill it in with.
What? A few,
Yes, some of the
different ones?
Yeah.
If you stand by, we're gonna play a bunch of clips.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
all right.
Anyway, okay, so it's time for some clips. It's time for some clips. So guys, these are Brett's clips. Are they mixed in together?
Oh, they're all mixed
Oh,
together.
it's all willy nilly. All right, let's just listen.
Willy nilly.
Here's the first one. It's called "Cunt."
Fuck you, you fucking cunts.
What's that from?
It's when the Guilty Remnant is like in the beginning of the
yes,
episode, and the guy is like, "Fuck you, you fucking cunt."
Fuck you, you fucking cunt.
That was that. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna pull it, and then you sent it to.
I feel like it was Alana that made me go back for it.
Pretty much all the clips for me.
I mean, there were a lot that were her. Yeah, for sure. This one's called "Dancer."
Chief, one of the witnesses says he's going to be late for his ballroom dancing lesson. Okay, if I let him go?
That's me.
Is that guy taking ballroom dancing?
Just so dumb.
Is that guy taking ballroom dancing, or is he just being a piece of shit and that guy's dumb?
Being a piece of shit.
I hope he's actually ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And wasn't it interesting how that guy was just like, "Fuck you, man. This town is, you fucking this
Oh,
town."
that he went against him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Kevin's got to hang out with him more often.
Yep.
That guy's upset that he
not
doesn't want to
feeling the
shoot
love.
dogs with him anymore. This next clip is called "Mood Good."
This is fucking good.
Oh, is that Patty eating the eggs?
There's some egg
Get it.
placement
This
for
is
everyone.
fucking good.
This is
Everyone
fucking
missing
good.
the eggs.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's some
There's
eggs
your
for you.
daily egg.
This one's called "Leave."
What? I'm not allowed to leave my own house?
How long is this gonna last?
Oh yeah, because we were thinking
We pulled these because of quarantine.
because of the quarantine.
It was a little too
that's funny.
familiar. Let's hear it
I'm
again.
not allowed to leave my own house.
How long is this gonna last?
Those are the people outside of the gyms and shit and Walmarts going, "Let me in."
I'm not allowed to leave my own house.
How long is this gonna last?
This one's called Fair.
It just doesn't seem fair. Us being locked up inside our houses, we didn't do anything wrong.
More COVID pulls.
Dude, preach. Fucking preach.
Warren pulls.
Hey, Officer Mustard Stain.
Oh shit! That is such a good clip.
Hey, Officer Mustard Stain.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
What if he had an officer ketchup stain too? They were like buddy cops.
Mustard and ketchup were on the case. This one's called Fuck. Oops.
Fuck! I say fuck too.
Oh, and then we got.
And then as
I say
requested.
fuck too.
Yay!
I say fuck too.
That's perfect. Thank you,
I
Brett.
say fuck too.
This one's called Shoot.
You want me to watch you?
No, I want you to shoot me.
My God.
That's the show asking me if I wanted to watch during the Guilty Remnant shit. I'm like, fuck you, no, kill me.
This one's called Joke.
I don't know how to joke.
That's Kevin. Not knowing how to joke. This one's called Daughter.
Oh, fuck your daughter. Oh, fuck your daughter. Oh, fuck your daughter. Oh, fuck your daughter. Oh, fuck your daughter.
Hey, Officer Mustard Stain.
Oh, fuck your daughter.
And this final one is called Frosted.
You said my kids disappeared because I gave them Frosted Flakes. No. Oh, fuck your daughter.
Fucking great.
All right. That's all the clips we got, guys. Why don't we get to some email?
Good night.
I don't give a fuck, Becca the Goo.
All right.
Tell someone else.
Christopher Smith sends us an email saying, in the spirit of what lost clips. Remember how many times we had Ben going, what? So we got some what clips, and here they are. Shit, where'd I put them? Here they are. Here's the first one. It's called Twins What?
Did she steal a baby out of the nativity scene? What?
Oh my God.
Will you stop making your paper?
What? I need to borrow $135,000.
What?
All right.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
What? All right. Thank you for that, Christopher Smith. Kelsey Griever sends us an email saying, the Leftovers non-watcher email. Hey, Steve, Brett, Alana, and possible guests.
We not clapping anymore?
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Dude, we lost the identity of this show.
Fuck, I forgot. Well, the clapping happened in the Watchmen show.
I guess that's true.
But yeah,
Leave
we can
Leave
clap
it with
in
your
this.
Watchmen podcast.
Let's clap in this one. Let's clap for
Okay.
clips.
What? I'm not allowed.
All right.
First time emailer, long time fan, humble brag. I'm an essential worker and a mom and don't have the spare time to watch The Leftovers nor Lost.
Thank you.
However,
Yeah,
I
thank
love
you.
listening to the podcast at work. It's fun to listen to people passionately / respectfully talk about art. Loved Alana's notes in the last episode and hope her deep dives into the themes continue. Well, I hope you liked this one.
I know I should dive deeper again.
Hope to catch up on these shows eventually, but until then, I will enjoy listening to you horn-born boys.
Honk honk. That's when the horn happens.
Thanks for all you do, Kelsey. Sent from 32 iPhones.
Cute.
Nice.
Oh, well done.
Thanks, Kelsey. We love.
What a reference. That's great. Thank you, Kelsey. Keep listening, please. Jim McLean sends us an email saying, first time email to the First Time Show for the first time. Episodes 5 and 6. Adele Dazim to you all. My name is Jimmy McLean. All right, I'll give you a Dazim. Thoughts from the episodes. Gladys's head blood splatter so juicy, looking like thick Hawaiian punch, but seriously so brutal in the effects.
Yeah.
They did like there was a point at which it just was a dummy they were throwing rocks at. Or cutaways where they're just drilling it.
Right. Like you would do as a joke in a jokey thing.
Like they would do in the 80s for a horror movie.
A bag of juice.
I really found it thoughtful and interesting, the need to protect the guilty remnant or the public from the murderers. And I feel for Kevin trying to put a curfew in, but I would be pissed too as a citizen. The guilty remnant are provoking people.
It just doesn't seem fair. Us being locked up inside our houses, we didn't do anything wrong.
Should fear be the driving decision in this case?
I'm not allowed to leave my own house?
How long is this gonna last?
It's open season, Kevin keeping it real with them. Without his wife there, he seems more rational. Meg owning him at the end of that scene shows she is starting to get the guilty remnant philosophy and how to push it on others. Lori going away with Patty gave me so much more context to Patty as a character, and these two mirror each other really well. The themes of dealing with grief and trauma are thick, and how to continue on in the face of overwhelming adversity. Can we get somebody to solve the mystery of where random socks go? Like, I get Kevin missing his shirts, but IRL socks be departing. Reverend Jameson gets friends. Good for him.
Yeah.
But Lori at
I
the
thought
end...
that too. I was like, oh, he's got to convince a lot of people to show up.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of his friends is the guy that brought his baby in to be baptized, right?
I think so.
I missed it.
Can someone in the emails please confirm? But Lori at the end with that weasel, she doesn't want to hear that garbage, just like people don't want to deal with remembering how awful the departure was.
Yep.
Guest. Time to get fucked up on the drugs. I fucking love Nora as a character and how she is conflicted with how to move on. She wants to feel, but doesn't want to feel. I can empathize dealing with chronic illness and loss of family and friends. Like a rash, you're trying not to itch, but someone keeps reminding you of it when it's none of their goddamn business. The whole industry surrounding the departures is fascinating and something that I can see happening after the pandemic, if it isn't happening already.
The whole what surrounding the departures?
All of the industry surrounding it, like the dolls and like the things
cool.
like that, the books and stuff.
The books.
I love how comfortably uncomfortable Lori is with Kevin, asking him to go to Miami so they can fuck all over their sinful bed of divorce papers.
That's not Lori.
Yeah, that's
Nora.
not Lori. That's Nora.
However, yes.
But that's very funny. The fuck all over their sinful bed of divorce papers. It is ironic that someone would want to impersonate someone who has lost their whole family. Those are shoes I would not like to walk in.
Yeah, but she wasn't doing it. She just took a badge that she could get away with a woman's name so that she could go and do her talk. I don't
have
think
her. Oh, by the way, remember what she said? Brett, do you remember what that woman said who was pretending to be Nora?
On the panel in the last
episode?
Vaguely.
She was.
We subtitled it and watched.
Yeah, we subtitled it because as she's being ripped away, she's like, "Why isn't anybody talking about how the Saudis developed?"
No, Israelis.
Oh, the Israelis. Sorry, my bad. How the Israelis developed a laser beam that could disintegrate a human being
with leaving no
matter behind.
Really? That's awesome.
How cool is that?
She said in 2005 this machine was built, and why is no one looking into it?
This machine that could pulverize organic matter and leave nothing behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I would not have been okay with my badge not being there.
Agreed.
Same. I was so glad she was fighting
You'd
back.
be like, oh, she's probably in there. I would have been like, then you should get up and go in there and find her.
Yeah.
Right.
Because this isn't my mistake. I don't want to have to go confront a stranger.
Can I just say
taking my badge?
That I've, as a SourceFed host, I went to conventions all the time, and other SourceFed hosts would also go and then bring their significant others and stuff. And sometimes the Steve Zaragoza badge would not be there, but the Joe Beretta one would be, so I would take that one. You know, and it was just like, because, you know, someone brought their boyfriend and they gave him the Steve Zaragoza badge.
Oh, is that
or like,
always
or
what it
like
was?
James, our producer, wanted to go to E3 for a day, so he took my Steve Zaragoza badge and walked around E3 and like, you know, like we did it all the time.
I was Jim Lee at
There you
E3
go.
one year.
There you go.
I mean, I was someone else's badge quite a few times at quite a few cons.
Well, we've
because
all
I was
been there.
in the industry, but it was always because somebody gave me their badge. I
Oh,
never
wasn't
took someone's
your
badge.
credentials?
No, I'm saying I never
Yeah.
took someone's badge without them
Like-
present.
oh, okay.
They would
But
always
you
have
know,
given
like-
it to me, and then I would use it.
But as
I
someone
feel like
who's
they've cracked down on this, so you gotta
they
have
have
an
cracked
ID.
down on it, yeah. But have you ever been like in a producer role where you're like taking care of everyone's badges and stuff, and
Yes.
then like, and then the crew comes, and then someone goes like, "Oh, Jeremy's not going to
There's
be here
always
anymore."
a missing badge.
right? And it's like, or
Yep.
where's the missing badge, or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like it is kind of a common thing.
Yeah,
Not
but-
anymore though. They
but-
have cracked down on it.
No,
like
no, no.
Brett
But
said.
I will say, because I've been to health conferences with my mom before, and it's a completely
Whoa, humble brag.
it's a completely different atmosphere than a convention typical, like a convention that has like fans and
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah,
It's
you're
so
right.
different. At a
Like,
hotel and
That's
stuff.
true. Like, yeah, you're right. This is a
It's different
conference,
than like
a corporate
Comic-Con,
conference or
E3
something.
and all that.
Yeah, very
Those
different.
Are like the very fucking top.
But it's different, like vibes. Also, like there is no feeling of like celebrity or like, oh, you should do this for me or you shouldn't. Somebody fighting back like that would be like, what's your problem? Figure it out or whatever. But at the same time, you know, the woman still, it was her fault. She fucked up.
All right, moving on.
I know,
from...
dude. I would have not been.
Oh yeah,
as
you can't. You don't stand. You shouldn't stand for that. But they don't really do that anymore. They don't let you stand for that anymore.
Finally.
Everyone sit down.
Can I have
Swat
some
that.
of your water? I've been like, I'm a fish over here, and I drank all my
I noticed
water.
that. I was wondering.
I'm just a thirsty boy today.
I'm just a thirsty about it.
Anyway, continuing on from Jim McClain's email, before we were rudely interrupted by me, Frenching Mannequins is my favorite Kings of Leon album.
Wow.
Holy Wayne's hugs aren't magic. The act of a hug in general from a stranger who doesn't judge, that closeness to another person, the person getting the hug has to actively release those feelings and thoughts, but that also makes it a brilliant yet fucked up scam.
No. In personal opinion, I appreciate a different opinion. No. I think he's like a Jesus in modern times type, where he has a gift, an ability to like absorb the shit. I think that especially after this episode, because in this episode when he hugs her, it almost looks like he's like pulsating a little bit in the hug, and he's not especially enjoying it. He's just like feeling things happen to him very subtly. And I think he literally has, I think it's the concept of like if a person like Jesus was alive today, aka has some kind of special ability that they've tapped into or learned how to do or whatever.
I hope it's
what would it be
magic.
like? I don't think any of those things are really magic. I just think it's like,
I mean, like,
you know, scientifically,
other, like,
molecularly.
not just
Not
body
just
on body
right,
hug.
right.
That's all you really need. I hope it's something special.
Yeah. I mean, I hear what this person is saying. That's true, but I don't think that's what's happening with Holy Wayne at all.
Ending with "Do you believe the departed is in a better place?" brings it full circle. Faith and belief can only get you so far in the present. Better place than like Earth? It's the age-old question. Better place than like Earth?
Will you read from the sentence before? I'm confused about what's being
Ending
said.
with "Do you believe the departed is in a better place?" brings it full circle. Faith and belief can only get you so far in the present. Better place than like Earth? It's the age-old question. Heaven, hell, purgatory? Was it divine or natural? She got so many yes answers because people were trying to be hopeful, or they knew that she had lost people too. Hard to be objective for Nora as someone who went through it too.
I mean, I think what they were suggesting with that, what her boss was suggesting, is probably true.
Right.
That she was getting more of those now that we know the question. Because
The part of that I found interesting
Ooh, yeah.
was he asked her how she answered, and she said, "I said yes all 3 times."
yeah.
So she
Meaning
was
she had to get
asked-
interviewed for each individual.
Yeah, and she thought all 3 of them were in a better place.
Yeah,
I definitely-
But that does give you more insight into
her,
the torturous healing process
Right, yeah.
she's had to go through.
I think
She had to do it 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would still say yes though, because I think that's part
Now,
of
you
her.
mean?
Yeah, part of her journey is like when she learned about her husband, learning about other little things along the route that is maybe making her question that. But
You
I
think
don't.
the kids are in heaven and the husband's in hell.
I don't know that it's that far, but I think she's questioning a little bit more. I don't agree with what this person is saying about. I don't really understand, frankly, what they're trying to say about belief. But I think belief is like a vital thing to humanity. Like you can't exist without hope, and hope is just a belief. You just believe, hopefully or not.
Well, it is interesting how much we think and consider what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
After living.
Jim.
If there's any aspiration of anything else.
Jim ends the email by saying, "Sorry for the long email. I am a high school English teacher, and I don't get to divulge in these types of things with students due to sex, blood, violence, sex, and drugs. The themes are so strong with well-written characters that are so human in their expressions and choices. I would kiss Damon Lindelof on his bald boy head. Much love to Alana. Much love to Alana and Brett. Bye, BBs."
Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Please send us more. I love some insightful.
And what are you having your students read?
Oh yeah,
that's a good question. Also, I love the idea, or what was it that he said at the end there? Hang on, I have to go back. now
About
because I
licking Damon
lost it.
Lindelof's balls.
No. That the themes.
I don't think that's what he said.
That the characters were well written and that they're so human in their expressions and choices. Alana and I were talking about that. Even Justin Theroux's like performances were his
Head of the class, you two.
They were there were so many human reactions.
He's so good. When he was leaving the voicemail on the phone, he was like, just call me back. So that's all I was talking about. Like even just adding these so perfectly was like, my sweetness.
Speaking of Jing Zhang Walla Walla Bing Bang sends us an email saying, "New clips theme." Hey y'all, I'm writing this right after listening to the latest episode. I tried to do a clips theme with my limited Premiere Pro knowledge. Hope y'all like it. It's royalty free, baby.
Oh, thank you so much. We love you,
Max. You're amazing. He says also.
Wait, Max? When did the name switch?
He calls himself Max.
Oh, okay.
He signs his emails as Max, even though the whole thing is Zhang Jing Max Teo. Anyway, he says, also, could BJ and the AC mean baby Jesus and the Asian child? Or black Jesus and the Asian Christ? Or black Jizz and the Asian Christine?
Is this a race thing now? Or we
need answers.
We do need answers.
Also, Steve, thanks for your thoughts on the show being depressing. Honestly, the show is rather depressing, but having the podcast to look forward to is kind of keeping me positive throughout the show.
Yay.
So keep up the good work, y'all. To my lights at the end of the leftovers tunnel, Max. All right, you guys ready for this? It's the unveiling of the new clips theme. And here we go.
What the fuck, Jill?
The fuck, Tom?
Clips?
Yes. Clips.
Clips.
So, I mean, are you gonna choke me or what?
Save it and don't lose it.
I love it.
That's
so
fantastic. I'm giving it another.
I love it so much.
So good. It's going in the goddamn Stream Deck.
It makes me want to dance like real
Boom.
grindy hips.
Right next to this one.
I don't give a fuck, Beckadoo.
Nice work, buddy.
Thank
you,
you.
Max.
Thank you, Max.
We got some clips. Now we just need an email one. Make us that one, too. E. Mraz sends us one saying, I haven't watched Lost or Watchmen or The Leftovers, and I still listen to all of them.
But did you see Kaboom?
Good morning, first-time show hosts. I've been listening to this podcast since Lost, and I still have no idea what Lost was. I listen to this show because I love the commentary. It's like a story being read to you by your friends. My favorite segment is most definitely clips because out of context, they are so hilarious.
I bet they are.
Let me find a good one for that.
I don't know how to joke. I don't know how.
That's great. Right now I'm working because I'm considered an essential worker. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
And I enjoy listening to podcasts that challenge the way I think about a topic. Lost was a show I saw as a child and didn't understand at all, but through listening to the podcast, I was showing the show in a new light. I felt the same way with Watchmen. I never even heard of the show, but when explained to me, made me open my eyes that there is a very interesting information about how people react to things and how comedy can be found in each episode, even in just clips. Keep podcasting up. I enjoy every minute of it. The Leftovers makes me excited because it's a crazy idea of thinking how do millions of people disappear without knowing why, and hearing the theories is so fun. Your friend, Jay.
Thanks, Jay. Ooh, that was loud.
No, you're great. Noah sends an email. Noah Krombach says, Krombach was my favorite He-Man villain.
He's like a good comedian just off the bat, disarming his own name.
Who?
Oh, you made that up. I thought you read that from the email.
No, that's his name, Noah Krombach, and then I said he's my favorite
That's what I'm
He-Man.
saying. I thought he said that right away.
No, I said it.
Never
Sorry,
mind.
excuse me, I said it.
I don't know how to joke.
New great show, new great show, old problems, please read. Hello, to my favorite two-horn, BB-born gals and boys.
I love it.
Long-time listener, first time writing in. Been listening since the old SourceFed days, and this is the best thing to happen during the quarantine for sure. Oh, thank you.
I don't give a fuck, Becca the Glue.
By the way, I am one of the ones that is not watching along because we can't get HBO Go in Germany, and it sucks. That's why I don't have any insight to the episode. But your podcasts are so good either way. It is just a joy to listen to all of them, and they do help and have helped me get through truly trying times. Aww!
That made me happy.
I also really enjoy the addition of Alana to the rewatch team. She brings some great new points to the table.
Thank you so much.
So this is all fine and dandy, but I came across an old problem with this new Zoom format. It's truly great that Owen decided to come on the show again, but now over Zoom, I have even more trouble distinguishing Brett from Owen. They basically sound the same now. At least they don't talk over each other anymore.
We worked it out.
Hashtag Bert, yes. Hashtag Alana, yes. Hashtag WTF, Jill. Is that one of the clips?
Hope so.
Shit, where is it?
Yeah. What the fuck, Jill?
Was that the first episode?
That was last week.
What the fuck, Jill?
Please all stay safe and healthy. Best wishes and greetings from Germany. Thank you, Noah.
Was that the first episode?
Yeah.
Stay safe and healthy, Noah. Also, Noah, where in Germany are you if you write again? I speak a little German.
Noah, where?
Wo sind Sie dann?
The Laughing Churro sends an email saying, howdy, partners, long time, first time, listen to every episode of the First Time Show and have only ever watched one piece of content covered, Popeye.
Oh, what a choice. I'm so sorry.
Fuck you, you fucking cunt.
I'm so sorry. Only movie I've ever seen or will ever watch. When you have peaked, there's nowhere to go but down. Get out of here. Anyways, let's cut to a clip. The Churro. All right, whatever. Thank you, Churro, for listening. Dustin Thompson sends an email saying, Leftovers. Hello, boys and gal. I've never watched The Leftovers before. And
Here's what my brother texted me and Steve.
Guys, oh yeah, that's right. Guys, Popeye is only $4.99 to buy on Vudu. Don't miss this opportunity. And then what was the reply to that?
He should just spam text everyone
What was
that.
the reply right after that?
You said,
ha ha ha, I wouldn't dare. Anyway, Dustin says, just wanted to add some quick thoughts on these two episodes. Can't say fuck to be the new soundboard drop anytime a well-timed F-bomb dropped. Oh, I think you're talking about this one.
I say fuck too.
Yeah. Nora and Hot Cop both subtly dropping the divorce status. I see where this is going. Very observant, Dustin. Beto Guevara is here, my friend. Beto could be the new
Dan.
Didn't Dan say he was going to do this with us?
who?
Dan.
Ooh, cold as ice, Dan.
I mean,
Didn't he? Am I wrong?
We don't know what
Yeah, I
kind of
think
job
he
he
did.
has. It is.
I think he said it in the
quarantine.
Watchmen
Yeah.
emails, but he might have said it in the episode that you lost.
Oh, that I lost. Yeah, so he
So
can
now he doesn't,
can plead the
he's
fifth
not
at this
committed
point.
to it.
Beto says, "Hey, beeps, bops, baps, and boys. Here are my notes from the next 2 episodes. Steve, just one thing, not a big deal, but we should do it before it gets awkward, like in the office after months of working with someone. Try pronouncing my last name without the U sound. Imagine it's silent. Or not. It's your show anyway.
I want to...
Is it... So he's saying... So it's Guevara. So take out the Jew, so it's just Guevara? Guevara.
Also, is it Beto?
Yeah. I had a cousin, Beto. Beto?
Because I know somebody who was named spelt that way, but he went by Beto, and I
Yeah.
think it's just because people would
Couldn't
always pronounce
say
it wrong anyway.
yeah.
But I don't know actually what's
You can
preferred.
say Beto. You can say Veto.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can say veterinarian.
Veterinarian. Anyway, he says, Alana, your notes had some very interesting points of view. I thought they were great.
Oh, thank you very much.
For the first one, sound alert. Fuck you, you fucking cunts. Yeah, we got it. Wait, where is it?
Fuck you, you fucking cunt.
Jesus, I remember there was a stoning in this show, but I did not remember it being so violent.
Same.
The sound design is brutal.
Mhm.
I love
Yes. That's what we
Yeah.
were saying.
Long.
We were saying the sound design
Yeah.
is really...
every hit was like, oh God, I could imagine what that felt like. Ugh.
Every hit begins with K.
I do love seeing Patty having to ask Kevin for help after all the shit she's done.
Wait.
And I love that Kevin was like willing to help her without like gloating at her about it. Crazy bald Corleone is late for one of his ballroom dances. I love this guy.
Chief, one of the witnesses says he's going to be late for his ballroom dancing lesson. Okay.
Ballroom dancer by day, dog killer by night. I really do think he was just being an asshole to that guy, and that guy is just kind of dumb.
I'm going to hold belief that he ballroom dances because
Yeah.
that's my fantasy. Thank you.
Maybe we'll get some more in that storyline.
I mean, if he does, he does.
So Amy, like, doesn't have a family, right? She practically lives with Jill and Kevin and eats all her food. She even sleeps there when there was a violent murder in this small ass town. I get it though. Hot cop is a hot cop.
The character of Amy is bothering the fuck out of me this watch through. The first time I watched it, she didn't bother me as much.
Well, just wait and see. When Lori's at the hotel, that's probably the first time she sees her face in a long time. They don't have mirrors in the Guilty Remnant house. Whoa.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from the dry
Good
cleaning
point.
shop literally calls someone Mr. Four Eyes just as Kevin was walking out.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
Officer Mustard Stain.
In this episode, we find out that Matt did not actually know the lady, Gladys, that was killed. That means that when he saw her in his dreams outside the church, he was probably just putting faces on people and filling in the blanks, not necessarily remembering everything as it was.
No, he did. No, he said he remembered. He
said he
saw her outside of the
around,
church.
yeah.
No, he
But
said
did
he
he
saw
talk
her.
to her in the vision or
No, she
nightmare
just
or
hands
whatever?
a pamphlet to him and goes, "You're not late. All are welcome," or whatever.
But he says that he's. I
Yeah,
think
but
he
I think-
references
But I think
seeing
he's
her that
talking
way.
about them standing outside as Guilty Remnant, watching him, because he said they were just watching you like they do. I think that's what he was talking about. But I choose to believe that she was like a parishioner, maybe. Who knows?
I feel like it was referencing her being a parishioner. I thought he said about her handing him something.
He said that he would see her outside and she'd be watching me like she does, and then blah,
But
blah,
I
blah,
thought
blah.
it was okay. Well, when he said outside to me, it identified outside of the church somehow.
Yeah, because
Meaning when he's walking in the church, like in his
in
dream.
that episode, remember when he sees the pigeon and the Guilty Remnant are watching
Yeah.
him? Gladys is one of the ones that's watching him.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying I thought of it the other way, and this is
all right.
blowing my mind because maybe I fucked the words to fit my visual
Oh, okay.
in my head.
People go apeshit when they imagine the idea of a curfew after 8 p.m. Wait, where is it?
It just doesn't seem fair.
Makes you think, how would people react to the real world if something like that actually happened? We would probably do fine.
Great end to that.
There are a bunch of new snippets regarding some shit going down in Florida.
Oh, right.
Maybe it was the cult police. Someone in Florida asked them to go and deal with their cult problems. Oh.
Let me tell you, Beto is like, am I saying it right?
Yeah, you could say it like that.
Well, how should I say it?
Just say it like
How do you
Beto.
say his last name?
Say Beto. Guevara.
Is killing it with the detail.
Yeah.
He's noticing every little hair that I wish I had enough coffee while I watched to notice.
And in the end, Gladys's body left the earth doing what she loved. Smoking.
That's another from my theme, though, talking about being stoned. Sorry.
Being stoned.
Being stoned or going up in flames about speaking or the truth or or saying nothing at all. Those are those two themes, and it happens again with her.
In the next episode, he said, I legit got chills watching Nora replace all her groceries. I mean, what are the chances these two lovebirds are getting a divorce on the same day, right? I mean, fuck already. Sound alert. Oh, fuck your daughter. Yeah, we got that one. Or where is it?
Fuck your daughter.
Oh, fuck your daughter.
See, even cool as ice Nora can be awkward, too. New York is crazy.
But she's awkward in a cool way.
Yeah. New York is crazy. There are protests, cults, streets packed with crazy people. Anyways, let's see how they portray it in the show. But very nice, Beto. That trip to New York is great. You see a lot of the world building going on in the show. The Guilty Remnant is not just in the small town, but all over. You see other cults and other departure-related jobs. Love it. Nora is the best under peer pressure. A live dog is better than a dead lion. Listen, Holy Wayne, a live dog is better than a live lion as well. So here's the thing about Holy Wayne. Where's our Holy Wayne clip? Don't we have one?
Quip.
Oh, it's this one.
Magic fucking hugs.
Here's the thing with Holy Wayne. Maybe he's just full of shit, but maybe he's not. Obviously, he doesn't have magic fucking hugs. Maybe he is just very good at reading people and empathizing with others' pain.
Or maybe it's Maybelline.
I think that if you're in immense pain and someone sees right through you and connects, it can leave you very vulnerable. At that moment, physical connection is like a hug.
Magic fucking hugs.
I'm sorry, physical connection like a hug.
Magic fucking hugs.
Can make you crack. The brain is a very powerful thing, and if you think, or someone makes you think, that you're ready to heal, then you might just start the healing process.
That I agree with, but I still think it's like a Jesus type parallel.
I don't see anything wrong with Holy Wayne recognizing his skills and charging a fee for them, especially in this fucked up world.
Magic.
But then there's the whole sex ranch thing with the young Asian women, so fuck that guy. I really miss the show, man. It's so good, interesting, and complex. Till the next one, guys. Don Beto. Beto.
Like Zorro. We were talking about Dons and Zorro.
We were talking about Dons. Looks like Jing is back. Max, Jean Jing is back. He says, "Hey, Alana, Brett, and Steve."
Theme?
He he wanted to talk about episodes 5 and 6. He didn't get to do that. He was too busy making clips themes. So I just got done watching episodes 5.
He was good. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, you're good. So I just got done watching episodes 5 and 6, and to be honest, it's kind of hard to write about both episodes because they're so different in tone. Episode 5 was a tough watch. The first scene was really hard to get through. Why did they have to kill the most grandmotherly-looking Guilty Remnant?
Yeah.
They could have just gotten one of the ones that's just like a background one, you know? Also, Amy, please put on some damn clothes.
Yes.
I know Justin Theroux is hot as fuck, but this shit's getting weird.
Agreed.
Question for y'all. If you were to go into the Indian guy's laundromat, what nicknames would he give you? Mr. Four Eyes was pretty mean. I think he'd call me Bandana.
Pinky.
Or Beard. Hey, Mr. Beard.
No way. There's so many beards.
So many.
Guess we'll be the Bandana Boys.
Mr.
Then.
Laughs or Mr. Giggles.
Hey, Officer Mustard Stain.
Episode 6, though. Hey, it's that actor who plays a frat bro in every movie. He's great, though. I love Nora and Kevin together. They have the most adorable meet cutes. Two dorks who are perfect for each other. They have so much in common, too. Cheating, divorce, jokes that don't quite land. Can't wait to see how this relationship goes. Also, hope you guys like the clips theme. I'm trying to think of an emails theme at the moment. Hopefully I get some inspiration soon. Could you all maybe do a clean cut of each of you saying the word emails? Talk to you all next week. Love, Max. Yeah, let's do it. All right, Alana, you first.
Emails.
Brett?
Emails.
And here's mine. Emails. All right, great.
Should we harmonize one?
Email. Oh, that's not.
Was mine bad?
It's fine. Everything's great. We're having a great time. We're having a great time. Ben Slavinsky sends an email. What's wrong, Brett?
Brett wants to keep harmonizing, obviously.
This is the worst harmony.
I know. Steve's like, it's fine. I'm like, let's do it again.
I don't know how to joke.
All right. You literally asked me for this, so I'm doing it. Ben Slavinsky says, hello, Steve, Alana, and Brett. I'm contacting you today to let you know that I'm 100% not watching The Leftovers. All I really know is that this show comes up in the Valleycast feed, and I just pump it into my ears because what else am I going to do?
Pump it.
I wonder if anyone is watching The Leftovers.
Well, Beto is for sure.
That's true.
And
Max. As long as Beto is.
Yeah, as long as we're just doing this show for Beto.
I'm in.
We were hoping there'd be some of you that were just like, fuck it, I listen to the Valleycast. We hope you stick around, though, because I know it could be kind of like, well, what the fuck? I'm not even watching this show.
We hope you stick around because, I mean, it's only about 50% about The Leftovers.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I briefly considered actually watching along, but that took just a little bit too much effort, so I gave up on that. Maybe I'll make it easier for you. So now I'm trying to piece together what Leftovers is all about from the podcast. It's a great time. 9.6 out of 10. Keep up the great work and stay safe. Dermot.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, can you, Ben, I'm going to ask you a favor because some people would do this on Lost and it was really fun. Can you email us what you think is happening in the show?
Yeah.
Because remember when that happened with Lost, Brett? That was always so much fun. Okay, and then he sent one more that says, P.S. I love when Steve is so freaking excited to say his thoughts so he doesn't really listen to what Alana's saying and it sounds like mansplaining, but I know Steve isn't. No Greg danged misogynist, so it's all good.
It's not mansplaining. It's when you're in a relationship with someone, you get used to like, you just do that sometimes.
Yes. Yes. Leftovers. Yes, I got clips. Juan Bellardi sends clips. He says, hello, all you beautiful humans. I'm a huge fan of this podcast and everything you do, Steve. I have been listening to your horns and farts for 8 years now.
Me too.
And it's crazy to think you have been entertaining me for so long. You have no idea how much your comedy, your songs, and your nerdiness has shaped me and inspired me to be my goofy two-horn self. Aw, you sweetie. Leftovers is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I'm so happy you're reviewing it finally. Yes, it is very depressing, but it is also so well crafted and so real and emotional that it can be written off as that sad rapture show. My girlfriend and I are having a great time rewatching and listening to you guys. We love you so much.
Yay! We're happy.
Brett, what do you have to say about it, you dummy?
Yes, I love you too.
A few thoughts so far. Wow, Tommy's story is so much slower and much more boring than I remember. Is it just me, or is this Holy Wayne baby crap just incredibly boring? I want the Garveys all day long and more Nora and Matt. Cutting from them just feels wrong.
Yep.
I'm interested because I care about Kevin, and I want Kevin to know that his son's okay.
Yeah, but the slowness of his son's story, I get.
I mean, I think it's
he wasn't in either of these episodes.
Right.
It's like the last two Harry Potter movies. The last two Harry Potter movies / the last Harry Potter book. They're literally just like out there not doing much, waiting to find something.
Yes.
And that's the same thing that's happening with Tom. So like, obviously, it's a little boring to show.
Do you agree, Brett?
I feel like I don't know enough about any individual character to have a preference yet.
Okay. A great example, let's see. Oh, wait. The show has such a great way of stirring up emotional and almost spiritual atmosphere around the characters that makes their stories feel so significant. It's almost like everyone's Locke in this show, like basically. A great example is Matt's episode with the birds. Nothing really needs to be explained because the hint that there is some greater power influencing these characters is so intriguing and chilling and fucking cool that it makes you want more. It could be God, it could be aliens, or it could be nothing at all. What matters is the cool feeling Lindelof is good at creating.
Yeah.
That's really well said.
I agree, but I think that's mostly just Matt because it's what's in Matt's head because he has faith.
True. Very true. He says, let's see, this show is such a great, I love the feature of clips and fun song edits on the show. So here are my favorite clips from the past episodes. P.S. If you want to have a fun night, take a shot every time Kevin says fuck.
I say fuck too.
Love you all. Hashtag Brett yes. Hashtag where the fuck is Owen. Hashtag Jill's friend looks like a baby.
Oh my God.
Hashtag large cheeks. Hashtag large eyes. Hashtag Gerber baby. Oh my God, let's start calling her Gerber baby. When Gerber baby comes into the room.
In lingerie.
I hate that. No, I don't like it anymore. All right, here are the clips that our friend Juan sent. This one's called It Isn't Your Fucking Fault.
Say it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fucking fault. Now, come on.
You have to mean it.
It isn't your fucking fault. Come on.
All right. Angry Kevin.
Insult you, Kevin, by saying that this is
Please stop talking just for a second.
It's not my place to know
What's in the
that.
envelope?
You've always been the best shoulder to
Please
cry on.
stop talking.
But I had to stop crying.
What's in the envelope?
The world changed.
Shut the
Kevin.
fuck up!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll draw a map on your hand.
You don't know where Yemen is.
I don't. Show me.
I'll draw a map on your hand.
What is that? What part is that from?
I don't know where the first clip is from either.
The first clip
Clips.
I remember where the first two are from. I don't remember where that's from. I'll draw a map on your hand.
It Isn't Your Fucking Fault is when the girl said it was her fault that the guy attacked her. And she was like, no, I'm not going to leave until you say it wasn't my fault.
It's the Asian pregnant girl
Asian
and
girl,
Tom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Echo Spider sends us an email saying, look who's talking now. Hi, everyone. Here are some brief comments, but these episodes were very intense. Marceline Hugot portrayed Kathy Geis in 30 Rock, and seeing her...
Yes.
Oh, really?
That's the grandma who gets stoned to death. When I first saw her on the screen, I was like, where do I know this character strong from? Not from the show. She plays a mentally disabled rich daughter in 30 Rock, and she's hilarious.
Seeing her in such a different role was very jarring, and watching this opening was very tough.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
Here are some questions that came up for me. Why does Amy live with the chief and his daughter? She just stays over all the time. You never had a friend that stayed over way too many times? Brett, did you ever have a friend like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend that basically lived with me for
I think it's
a month.
in real life, it's very normal, but you just don't see it a lot in TV and film.
My mom was and my dad too, but my mom specifically was such a come into my home, and if you need to stay here, I'll take care of you and feed you and everything. And so everybody was like, shit, we can get all this good food, Mexican food, and fucking chill with Steve playing video games and shit. Let's do it.
I hear what you guys are saying, but in my upbringing experience, if it was a school night, it was not normal. It was a conversation if it was
Not
even
if you both
going to happen.
You both went to school at the same place.
Yeah.
No,
I had plenty of school night sleepovers.
It wasn't no, it's impossible, but it was certainly not just an assumed thing. It was an absolute conversation every time.
I don't know this to be true.
Go for it.
But I do feel like it was a more normal thing in the 90s.
Maybe your 90s, yeah. I'm not saying it wasn't normal for you guys.
Not my 90s.
But also, it's not. I don't think it's as unusual how you guys are saying for a friend to maybe have family problems and kind of basically move in with a friend while they're in high school. I know a lot of people who did something like that.
I had a friend move in with us basically for like a month.
But to me, that's we'll find out if that's what she's doing, but that's totally different from just like sleeping over all the time because I just love you so much and I can't be around without you.
Do you guys think the ATFEC, which is the alcohol, tobacco, firearms, explosives, and cults
diarrhea
processing facility is making Soylent Green, Brett?
It's people.
I love the Nora
Soylent Green is
episode,
people.
and I hope that we get an episode about Patty in the future.
Ooh, I think so.
I love this type of world building where an episode will focus on a specific character. Take care, and we'll keep on watching. Daniel.
I love it too.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you.
P.S. I'm not a big fan of smoking, so this show puts me on the edge.
Yeah.
P.P.S. The alternate subject of my email was Bounty the Dog Hunter.
I have remembered one thing that's going to happen in the future, and it was from watching this first episode of these two, the 5th episode. I remember some story points.
Alana's water bottle, or have you just transitioned to another bottle?
I've taken her bottle, but she's been sharing it to me.
Yeah,
she handed it to me.
No, you can use.
That's okay. I'm done for now. Thank you, though. Giovanni Canali sends an email saying, Guilty Remnant theory. Guilty Remnant is in cahoots with Big Casino. Hello, first-time boys and girl. My name is Brad, and I'm not from Sweden. Why does it say Giovanni Canoli, then?
That's not Swedish.
This is my first time watching The Leftovers, and I'm loving it so far. So thanks for introducing me to this series. During last week's episode of the podcast, you guys mentioned the idea of the Guilty Remnant getting all their money from Big Casino. And it got me thinking about a potential theory about the origins of the Guilty Remnant and their motives. I've spent countless seconds theorizing with my dog, and I think I finally got a solid theory to give us some friggin' answers. Wow, it's a whole thing written here called The Guilty Remnant is a subsidiary of Big Casino. I know it sounds crazy, but I promise I'll explain everything. Let's start off with the most obvious evidence of this, cigarettes. Now, I'm not even going to make an Owen joke about this one. If any of you have ever been to a casino, you know they keep a constant supply of cigarettes burning in the AC vents at all times. This isn't untrue. The Guilty Remnant is trying to replicate this as best they can, but they don't have the appropriate zoning permits for the big AC units used in the casinos. So they have to set cigarette quotas for all their members to keep their houses appropriately hotboxed. Also, interestingly, in a 2014 interview with Vulture, Damon Lindelof said, in the Leftover verse, all cigarettes are actually controlled by Big Casino. You have to have a cigarette permit to smoke a cigarette. And if you get caught smoking a ciggy without a permit, you get a spanking and a timeout.
So that's a joke, right?
This is why Bongo Joe's mouth always looks messed up. He's addicted to cigarettes. Bongo Joe.
Who's Bongo Joe?
Is he the guy that shoots the dogs? He doesn't have a permit, so he has to hide his cigarettes in his mouth. Because he does have the dip. Yeah. Oh, also, the guy with a big truck and gun who likes to shoot up dogs is Bongo Joe. So it seems like the Guilty Remnant is the only place. Why Bongo Joe?
Because it is Steve.
So it seems like the Guilty Remnant is the only place in the Leftover verse that, other than the casinos, that has a cigarette permit. Seems like a fishy, huh? Well, if you're still not convinced, I have 2 more points that I'm sure will sell you on this theory. The Guilty Remnant has multiple offenses of family hating on their record. They stole everyone's family photos, and I'm pretty sure they've written fuck the concept of family a few times in the series already. Something that oftentimes stops people from gambling and the stigma that it has within their families. Making for awkward conversations when your significant other asks where all the money they got from their inheritance went to. By brainwashing people to hate their families, you get rid of that barrier to gambling, which means more money for the casino.
Uh-huh.
And lastly, it would be a crime if I didn't mention the Guilty Remnant and their affinity towards rocks. We've already seen multiple times throughout the series how the Guilty Remnant seems to have rock magnetism powers. It seems like the Guilty Remnant gains power from these rocks. When Pastor Matt was driving back from the casino and saw those Guilty Remnant ladies absorbing rock power, he got jealous and tried to steal some of the rock energy for himself. But the rock energy was too powerful for his frail, non-Guilty Remnant body and sent him into a 3-day coma. Similarly, when the Guilty Remnant lady went into the woods, she got greedy and tried absorbing more rock energy than her body could handle. And it overloaded her chakra and killed her. Oh my god.
I think he cracked it.
So what does this have to do with casinos? Well, most people think that Native Americans own all the casinos, but in the same interview that I referenced earlier in this email, Lindelof said, I wanted all the casinos in the Leftover verse to be owned by Samoans. I just think they're so cool. So if all the casinos in the Leftover verse are controlled by Samoans, what does this mean for my theory? Well, as we all know, the most well-known Samoan is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Casinos, Samoans, The Rock, rocks, the Guilty Remnant. The Guilty Remnant exists to get people addicted to casinos, and that's why big casinos keep buying them fancy houses and churches. I rest my case. Thanks so much if you read this, Steve. I know you're not much of a fan for long emails, but I felt that I needed to get all my thoughts out into an open forum. If I could be so bold as to request a clip, could you play a "What the fuck, Jill?" followed by a "heh, please? Well, I don't have the heh clip, but I'll definitely play that other one for you, friend.
What the fuck, Jill?
Shit, I said this before watching the new episode for this week. Can I change my clip request to "What the fuck, Jill?" followed by "I say fuck you too," then finally please? No, you don't get anything. Love you, BB fuckers, Brad. Damn, Brad.
Wow.
Daniela C sends an email saying, in the show's defense, hey, BB boys and girl, BB girl. In the show's defense, I don't think it's depressing in the proper sense of the word. It is sad, but because it's supernatural stuff, it doesn't feel so real. I find shows like The Wire way more depressing and hard to watch. About the money of the Guilty Remnant, it is sort of explained later in the show. Maybe this is a spoiler, but people that join them give them all their possessions.
Wait, make sure it's not a spoiler.
That's like Cults 101.
Make sure it's not a spoiler before you read out loud.
Okay. And speaking of money, any way we can support the podcast, you guys have given us so many hours of entertainment. It would be great to contribute while I still have a job. Aww. I can't wait for all the clips this week. The PayPal one, Kevin on the phone with the FBI guy, Kevin fighting the other policeman. Cheers from Australia. P.S. Brett, hang in there. Next season is not as heavy as this one.
I'm hanging. Just go buy Creeper.
Yeah, if you want to support the show, definitely buy Creeper. And also subscribe to the Valleycast channel. And that would be very helpful. And if you want to be even more giving, you can become a patron of the Valley Folk. And you'll get this episode of this show early, as well as a bunch of other fun stuff. You get it a day earlier than everybody else does.
And a little kiss.
But definitely get Creeper. It's only like $1 or something.
It's $2.
Oh, well, I'm out.
Steve, it was twice as much as you said.
Alex Sinikropi says, greeting Breb, Sheev, and Llama, and maybe guest. Longtime listener, first-time writer, I have never written. I am a giant fan of Lost, so it was all about this show from the get-go and loving The Leftovers so far. Having said that, I don't recall giving you permission to exploit my feelings via this television program. The parallels between the townsfolk acting up against the curfew proposal in episode 5 and clips from my own small town's assembly are deeply unsettling. As well as in episode 6 with the protesters outside the conference holding signs such as the one that read, "Who did it?" At first I wasn't sure if I could handle this, but I'm finding it weirdly cathartic. It's not a show I thought I needed right now. You guys have talked a bunch about how great the writing, cinematography, music, acting, etc., but I didn't expect this to hit me like it did, so thank you. Also, thanks for keeping me company while I'm stuck inside. Alex, signed Alex. Hashtag Brett yes. Hashtag Alana yes. Hashtag Alana empathy. Hashtag should we just say that they all Lindelof? Wow. P.S. Look up the number Wang sketches from that Mitchell and Webb. Look, if you want to see the Holy Wayne being a weird and Olivia Colman. Love and sloppy kisses. I love Mitchell and Webb. We watch them all the time, I think. Let's see. Matthew Mayer says, I see your Guilty Remnant picture frame and raise you one paper cigarette. Hello, first time cast. On the last episode, you talked about Max Richter's score for The Leftovers, which I think we can all agree is top notch. I realized I should share that.
It really came through this week.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
The theme. Yeah, it was nice.
I really should share that I was lucky enough to attend a concert a few years ago in New York City where Max Richter performed music from the show. It was really an awesome experience. At the door, they handed out fake paper cigarettes that had glitter on the end to make them look lit as a fun little souvenir.
Let's look lit.
Even though I'm super jealous of your HBO care package, Steve, I am happy to have this little piece of show memorabilia. Just wanted to share a little personal experience with you. Hope you all have a great week. Still waiting on my DSD settlement. What's that? What's a DSD settlement?
What's also that sound?
Is that the Department of...
Department of Sudden Departures. Yes.
Yeah.
Matt Mayer. P.S. I have attached 2 pictures from the concert as well as a horrifying look at what The Leftovers would be if Kevin was ugly.
Oh, no.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, could you do like a picture thing where you could add your face in there? What the hell is that? What is this?
I can't see it.
Well,
click it. Okay.
You don't want to see it.
It kind of looked like he replaced the face on Kevin in some kind of show
Leftovers
art
poster. Turner Tushhouse says, Big Tabasco. Hello, Steve, Alana, and Brett. Here's a short email. I'm brand new to this podcast because it's quarantine and I have nothing else to do but consume all of the content I possibly can. Anyways, the Guilty Remnant is funded by Big Tabasco. This is never talked about, but it makes so much sense. Love you all. Stay safe and sane.
makes sense.
Billy,
that's a good email.
That's a great email.
I love
That's a
that
great
email.
email.
That's a fantastic email.
Billy Roberts says the format. Good evening from Atlanta, Steve, Madame Fickes, and Brett. Brett lied to me about when y'all are recording.
That's true.
So
this is the guy.
So this email is haphazard and not thought out. So blame.
But I tweeted out that I was wrong.
So blame Brett.
I forgot we were doing it Friday.
So blame Brett if my thoughts don't make sense or I ramble on. I've listened since the Lost days. I've already watched Lost 3 times when the podcast came about, so I listened without rewatching. It was an interesting way to re-experience the show. I'm doing the same thing now with another Lost rewatch podcast, The Storm. That's cool. I've never seen The Leftovers, so I'm officially a first-timer now. I'm struggling to respect the format, but I've remained strong so far. Thanks for the encouragement to stick to it on Twitter. I did want to say that the format isn't going to respect my wallet very soon as my HBO Now trial ends on June 3rd. Do you see the sacrifices I make for you? As always, thanks for all the content you pump out into the internet world. It is wonderful and keeps me sane. From Billy, a.k.a. the smallest fan.
Thanks, Billy.
You think HBO's seen a spike in viewership on The Leftovers?
Oh, yes.
They're confused.
Significant.
They're confused. They're like, I don't know where this is coming from.
They're like, why is everybody watching The Leftovers right now? It's such a bad time to watch such a depressing show. What was I going to say? Something about something in here.
Reading an email?
Oh, we should just say that you should watch the show on
You can watch the show whenever, but we're going to record Friday.
We're recording on Fridays.
We record Friday afternoon, evening.
Right. So if you have watched the show, the next 2 episodes by Friday,
just get in your emails by Friday.
then that's when you can get your emails in. Otherwise, just watch it whenever, you know?
Yeah. By Friday afternoon is smart.
Great. Thank you so much, Billy.
Great.
Next email comes from Darren Hicks. He says, Gladys episode observation. Hey again, BBB boys and girl and guest. Pay attention to the scene where Patty and Lori are listening to Hall & Oates in the car and pay close attention to Patty's wildly out of rhythm steering wheel slaps. It's insane.
But that's when the slate comes. I thought he was going to have seen
I know,
the
I thought so
slate.
too. But is she
But the
wildly
slaps are great.
slapping out of rhythm?
Yeah, for sure. They didn't know what
They
song
probably
they were going to
weren't
use.
using that
Yeah,
song.
it was silent.
The song
for
was
sure.
this.
Yes. Andrew Whitney sends an email saying leftovers 5 and 6. Hey, BB Booze and BB Goo. I know all of my other emails have been jokes, so I'm going to take this serious this time. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting when you record, so I don't watch the episodes in time. Format be damned. So this is my opinion on episodes 5 and 6. After,
now you know.
After only reading the episode titles. 5. Whoa, geez. Can you believe Gladys? I mean, like, what the heck was she thinking doing that thing with the fish in the truck bed? And episode 6. It was really nice of Nora to invite Kevin over to her house for some garlic bread and coitus for no reason.
All right. I love it.
Dan the Man sends an email saying, hello, first-time crew. Hi, guys. This is Dan, not that Dan. I'm from Miami. I've been wanting to write to you guys since you started rewatching this series. This is honestly one of my favorite shows out there.
Miami Dan.
I've tried... Miami Dan! Dan! I've tried to get people to watch it, but everyone has just turned me away. I don't have to admit that I started... Or I'm sorry, I do have to admit that I started to rewatch with you guys. But the show is so compelling and quarantine has been so boring that I did break the format and went ahead all the way to the first episode of the last season. Yikes!
Alarm bell.
Damn, they're saying sorry, Steve, but I gotta say...
Fuck you, you fucking cunt.
Also...
I don't give a fuck, Becca the Goo.
That sucks, man. Follow the format, you shit. That's the most unfollowing the format I've ever experienced.
But it's
on
okay
this show.
as long as he doesn't damn spoil shit.
I guess.
Don't be
I don't know. Do I even want to
talk about
But do I even want to read the rest of this email from Miami Dan?
Scan it.
Just wait.
Scan it with your eyes.
But I mean, he's not gonna. I'm just saying he's probably not gonna spoil anything. But it's like, should I even?
Just wait. Just save it. We'll read it.
Well, obviously, it's been a long
First episode of the
podcast.
fourth season.
But I mean, it's just gonna be.
You're just wanting to skip ahead a little.
Yeah, Brett just doesn't.
Save it.
We're
Yeah,
tired.
we'll definitely come back to this one.
Somehow these podcasts have
circle
been
back.
hours long.
All right, here's the last email for real. This is actually it. Michael Nosbish.
Michael's
sends
nauseating
an email
fish.
saying episode 5 thought. Main thought after episode 5 is Dean the middle-aged bald dog killer. Oh, is Dean the middle-aged bald dog killer, or what did he call him? The other guy called him
Bongo
Joe. Bongo Joe. Bongo Joe.
Is
Bongo Joe.
Bongo Joe. Is
Bongo Joe.
Bongo Joe an ATFEC officer? Does he work for the tobacco and
No.
cult?
I say no, but I would love to find out yes, because I want some exciting shit.
Brett?
I think he's just some fucking redneck dipping, gun-toting, dog-killing, good old boy.
Okay.
All right.
No?
There
Sure,
is
it could be.
there is a similar looking white male worker working at the cremation facility. He could be there casing the local GR clan for extermination. Brings a new take on his "they aren't our dogs anymore" line, possibly trying to drive a wedge between Chief Garvey and his ex-wife even further.
I hear that, but I don't think so.
He also pitted the chief against the townsfolk as the city council meeting and was the person to first put forward the "they did this to themselves" idea. Hope everything's going well. Still no internet except my phone. Insert feelings of rage here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I guess that's what I'm supposed to think about him, huh? He's probably got some more important...
I mean,
you
he's
think whatever you want, baby boy.
I think maybe we should be thinking more about him because what is his relationship with Kevin?
I just think he's a representation. I think Kevin's relationship with him is about what's going on in Kevin's head. I mean, and I'm happy to be wrong, but we're talking opinions. That's my pins.
If we're talking pins here.
Those are my pins, and that's in my pin cushion. Stick them
You
in.
think it's going to be like Fight Club? He was both of them?
Imagine that's one person, those two
is
sides.
Bungalow Joe.
Bungalow Jang Gang.
What was it? What did he call him
Bongo
again?
Joe.
Bongo Joe?
He's on Love Island now. It's Bungalow Joe.
Bongo Joe.
Bongo Joe.
Bongo Joe. Bongo Joe.
All right. Listen, we're at the
That was it?
we're at 2 hour and 18-minute mark on this episode.
Gosh.
So,
And we
my
love
goodness.
I'm glad we're keeping it to an hour this season.
It's right about now when Owen would be like, listen, we just got to get to the emails quicker, man.
Dude, Owen would have already got up from the table and be outside smoking.
Oh, yeah. Hours ago.
We didn't do video back then. No one knew.
All right. Well, we should start to consider including some guests soon. So I'm going to put my feelers out to the people who were like, I want to do
it's not long enough.
No, it's not long enough. We definitely need to.
More opinions. We need to spread it out.
We need more banter, more bits. But anyway, I had a great time with you guys. These were some great episodes. Do you want to close out on your thoughts on these episodes, Brett?
I like that they both were one-word titles that started with G. I like that synergy.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. What's next?
Jesus.
I know. What's next? I'm ready. Are you able to handle doing 2 episodes at a time and waiting? Yeah.
No, I'm
Well, I
impatient
wanted to do
as
one
fuck.
episode at a time.
Oh, really?
I'm so glad we didn't do that.
Me too.
Well, I felt like we could really focus in and do one.
That's true.
Because that's how we did Watchmen.
It definitely becomes more concise and more detailed in the observations. But
I mean, if we're gonna make it to the next show in time, we gotta do 2 at a time.
Conceivably, the next show. All right. Well, Alana, your closing thoughts?
I loved them. I'm getting impatient. Let's get the ball rolling.
Well, thank you guys for listening, and I really appreciate you guys joining along and subscribing to the Valleycast channel to watch the video version of the show. And, of course, if you become a patron of the Valley Folk at patreon.com/thevalleyfolk, you get a bunch of fun little stuffs, and you get this podcast a day before all the damn plebs do, which is really fun, isn't it?
I don't know how to joke.
Fuck you, you fucking...
So anyway,
Fuck! I say fuck too.
So guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe to the Valleycast podcast if you are only watching the YouTube version, because that really helps out our analytics and maybe makes the show continue on.
Wait,
for
not the
seasons and
Valleycast.
seasons.
The first time show.
The Valleycast, because it's in the Valleycast feed.
Same.
Yeah, so if you are only watching us on YouTube, you can subscribe to the Valleycast on any podcast platform that you prefer. We're even on Spotify. And so you hear that, Alana? You're on Spotify.
Wait, no, but I don't. How is this podcast? If you're subscribing to the Valleycast, that's a different podcast.
No, the Valleycast has this in its feed.
Oh.
As well as The Fundamentalists, a podcast with Elliot Morgan and his room.
Platforms? Wow.
Yes.
I thought it was more like Parcast. You know, they have a bunch of podcasts, but they're not all in the same feed.
No, we're all in the same feed. So if you subscribe to the if you subscribe to the Valleycast, you get this show and The Fundamentalists as a little bonus.
Well, I'm actually stoked to know that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I did not understand that.
It's neat. We're on Spotify. Isn't that cool?
I'm looking up right now.
All right, great. Well, guys, thank you for listening. If you don't subscribe, please do that. And also, it'd be nice if you left a rating or a review on iTunes, because that helps a lot, too, with analytics and potentially furthering the continuation of podcasts such as this. So we appreciate your listenership, and we appreciate your emails, which you can send to thefirsttimeshow@gmail.com, whether you have some theories about the show or some clips, themes, or not so much clips, because we got the clips covered. But if you think we missed one or something, whatever. But for the most part, we're probably gonna skip super long emails. But we're trying to have a fun time here, and we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the show. And also, please continue to email us if you aren't watching the show, because it's so fascinating to us. What that's
just
like.
go ahead and email in your Creeper reviews.
Oh yes, and please download Creeper on Comixology. It's the comic book Brett Register and I have created, and Brett has been writing. And it's a wonderful comic book, and the art's great, and support local artists and independent artists.
And Alana's going to read it any day now.
Alana's going to read it any day now.
As soon as you show me how to put the words in front of my eyes, they'll be read.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next time on The First Time Show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.